All right, welcome everybody. Tonight is an off week and an off night. Everybody, tonight is an off week and an off night and off audio too. Sorry about that. Echo is fixed. Tonight we are going to do character generation for Rogue Trader. Rogue Trader is one of the games that is on our list for when we finish Earth Dawn. What are we going to play next? So we figure get some character generation and some introduction to the system, and that might help in the discussion on what to choose next. So right now we're going to do character generation. While my players are rolling their stats, I will explain what's going on. Everybody starts with basically rolling 2d10 plus 25 for their 9 attributes. They can re-roll one of them afterwards. And all right, Matthew, you have a sheet assigned as well.
Okay, guys, I'm looking at this and I'm not hating it. I mean, the only one I can think that I might want to re-roll is the 2 2s.
Yes, in this system, it's percentile. You're rolling under your attribute. Skill training can boost the target number you need to roll under, so higher is better, but people aren't going to start with super high numbers. That is for later advancement.
Which one to reroll?
Okay, so you're done, right?
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm gonna do my rolls. I just want to make sure. Okay, I'm gonna do my rolls real quick. Oh wait, is there someone else wanted to reroll before I do that? I don't want to confuse everybody.
Go ahead. I'm still thinking about which one I want to reroll.
We get a reroll?
Yeah, you can reroll one stat.
Nine. Oof. Okay.
Maxim found all the bloody 10s.
Those aren't horrible. I mean, there's a 30 and a 32 there.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's Scaly. Never mind.
Yep,
Holy crap,
that's mine.
Scaly. Maxim, we found where all your 10s went.
But yeah,
generally, mine are pretty average.
You roll in order, so it's not pick and choose, but I don't mind picking and choosing where the attributes go. As far as combat goes, weapon skill is your melee combat attribute modifier, and ballistics is your ranged combat skill.
I'm going to re-roll my strength. There we go. That's a re-roll right there. All right.
So the only one that I could re-roll is the 30?
You can re-roll any of them.
Well, I know. I mean, the only one I would be, that's a 2 and a 3, so there's a chance I could actually get less, but...
You don't have to take the lower value.
No, the rules say you do.
The rules say you do.
Really? Oh.
Yep.
If you happen to roll lower, you don't have to take the lower one.
How nice of you. All right.
Then I'm going off of
there's no point
fiat on that.
I will give you the option of...
Oh, okay. 4 better. That's fine.
I am currently having technical difficulties trying to get the Roll20 site to work.
Oh, that's not good.
Are you using the link?
Mine glitched a little bit when I logged in.
Oh no, I mean it's just nothing wants to work on the actual map sheet. It's probably definitely on my end.
That has
yeah, you might want to refresh.
Okay.
Sorry, Jeff.
So yeah, the highest starting value would be 45. Okay. So wow, my fellowship is nice.
Yes, it is.
So my lowest right now is strength, and perception would be my 2 lowest.
Perception is my lowest.
Yeah, but as a whole, not terrible. Okay, and that's before we get to add extra stuff in for all of our...
Yeah, there's going to be a whole bunch of modifications for the origin.
Yeah, okay. And I'm guessing any modifications we just add or subtract from our starting, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, the starting is there later when you do advances. That way you can keep track of what your original numbers were. And any modifications from world and stuff count as your original numbers.
Yeah. So for those who probably have actually played this or whatever, is there a class that you wanted to play? So we can just say that, oh, okay, you know what, you want that, that's fine, you know?
Well, since this is just a test
I'm
out,
a huge fan of the Psychers, so whatever one's the Psyker one is what I'd go with.
I think that's 2, isn't it?
Astropath Transcendent.
Yeah, navigators are also psychers, but they are more limited in their scope.
Yeah, the Astropath Transcendent is probably the one with most open-ended.
And navigators do they can do divination things, right? Or am I misremembering?
Celestials are the ones that are the keepers of the ritual.
What are we supposed to be doing next on the character sheets?
Right now, I am going to describe career paths.
Okay.
Oh, just do a quick description? Yeah, go for it.
Just do a quick description. I gotta find it though. Yeah, it was looking like navigators don't have many other powers. Their whole thing is seeing into the warp and getting people safely where they're going. And apparently, they can look at people with their third eye and cause them problems.
Problems.
Okay, see, that sounds like a psyker thing there to me.
Well, rumor has it that they can kill you with their third eye. All right, so rogue traders, they are nobles, parts of families that have spanned the galaxy running trade operations or whatever. They, for the most part, are the owners of ships. They have dynasties, they're building profit. They are the captains of the ships. Obviously, they still go with the crew when they explore things because you can't trust building profit to lowly scrubs on your ship. You have to be there. The navigators are in charge of getting the ships where they're going. They are a mutant, actually, but since they are necessary for warp travel, the Imperium just kind of overlooks that fact and lets them be because they're needed. So they kind of get that special treatment there. Seneschals are...
Also, that was the Astropath, right?
No, that was Navigator.
Oh. Well, I'm pretty sure even if you blow your head off, trying to navigate the warp, you're still donated to the Emperor's throne, the Golden Throne.
Seneschals...
skills for the Golden Throne.
Master of Ceremonies, Master of Coin and Commerce. They are the Masters of Logistics. They, for the most part, organize the trade, what they need, what is going, what picking up and shipping to where, and things like that. They are the information as far as bargaining and trading and that sort of thing.
It sounds like they're a combination of lawyer and accountant.
Yeah, pretty much. They have
lawyer, accountant, spy master. They do many things.
Spy master. They are the information brokers.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
All right. If anybody would know where this new crate of guns is needed most or can get you the most profit, the Seneschals would. Missionaries are religious fanatics in the ecclesiarchy. They are the ones that if people aren't worshiping the emperor god, they have problems with it. They really have a problem with mutants, except navigators, because they're given special treatment there. And they also preach the virtues of the Imperium of Man. They are probably not one of the easiest to be unless you don't mind playing a fanatic like that. Let's see, Explorators. They are tech priests. as far as on the ships, though. Tech priests are people that originated on Mars. They are everywhere now. They worship the Omnissiah, the machine god, which the Emperor, some say, tricked them into believing that he is said machine god. Their whole thing is maintaining equipment, knowing how it works, or at least not by pushing an on button to get it to work, but by knowing how to appease the spirits by applying the sacred unguents in the right place and the right rituals to get the machines working again.
And if need be, a really heavy hand to the monitor.
I think you cut off. Yeah, okay, now I understand. Okay, so they're mechanics, but do it with sort of semi-magical means?
Yes, they are fanatics, but as far as technology goes, not religion. Their religion is the machine god. They worship technology. If they see somebody mistreating a weapon, a machine, a piece of technology, whatever, that kind of offends them.
Gotcha.
Okay. It is not necessarily that they use machines with magic. It's kind of like a lot of technology in 40K. No one understands how it works anymore, but basically, like, imagine you've got the Starship Enterprise and you're trying to make it work using like a Reddit thread of people arguing about how to solve this one problem. That's like what they have to work with, and they've developed a religion around that. Yep. It's like, no, what, they don't have the manuals, they don't have the how to build it guides. They just put it together and then they do the things they're pretty sure will make it work.
Well, it's like if you're a programmer, you put in the notes what you did to change it. Well, everybody has different ways of writing said notes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I got
and so
that
eventually enough technology went down the drain that it turned into a religion.
Void Masters are basically the people. Let's see what it says here. It describes people
They
that have
are
risen
the
to masters of more than one mysterious arts of running a space-going vessel. So they know generally about living in space and operating in space and that side, not the technological bits of it, just the everyday workings of ship-faring life.
Yeah, I mean, you got a 50,000 man spaceship. There's a lot of people management involved there, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Well, the tech priest swears at the monitor. The Void Master is the guy back in the engine room hitting the engine with a wrench.
It sounds like the Void Master could also be like the ship psychologist, calming people down when they're going through issues by being on the ship too long. That's funny.
Well, here's a great example of just ships that go through the void. The void is not a safe place. So there's like a 1 in 100, a 1 in 1,000 chance one of the people, when you come out the other side of the void, ain't people anymore. So the thing that happens on ships is you have gangs that work in different shifts. So you'll have a gun gang, an engine gang, a atmosphere gang. These are the guys that keep everything running, which is where the Void Master comes in. He's the one that goes, okay, you're on this shift, you're on this one. The thing of it is those gangs are so isolated from each other, they never see any of the other gangs. But if one of them comes out wrong, it's the gang's responsibility to take care of the problem.
I see what you're saying. I gotcha. Okay. No, that's fine. Yeah.
Arch militants are ex-military, ex-mercenaries, whatever. They are pretty much the people that know war. They know fighting on the ship. They are the tacticians. They are squad leaders, whatever, right? It's not a very specific term. It encompasses a lot of different warrior type people. And then the Astropath Transcendent. They are psychers that have a link to the Astronomicon. They can... no, I'm thinking of Navigator still. Astropath Transcendents send signals to other ships across the warp. They have the ability to basically communication, because communications in the warp and across the warp are not very reliable. So the Astropaths are a bit more reliable.
Well, actually, basically, you're on one side of the galaxy, the astropath sends a message to the other side of the galaxy to your sister ship or whatever, and it goes through the warp. The thing of it is, because we don't have like in Star Trek or Star Wars or anything like that, we don't have satellites from one spot to another because they won't last. Everything's trying to kill us. Everything's trying to destroy everything. So they see a satellite out there, they just go bang.
Yeah. We're sending the letter on a direct route through hell to go to your destination.
They're using their psychic abilities to communicate with other people.
So we're using AOL.
And as psychers, they can take other psychic abilities as well.
Okay.
Yep. So they do they are the mailmen, and also they shoot bolts of lightning because those powers are inextricably linked in 40K.
Yeah.
Actually, Scaly, if you remember correctly, in what was it, the Huckster? You remember the Huckster?
Yes.
That's a psyker. If you screw up on a spellcast, you get Perils of the Warp, which can include up to blowing your own head off.
Always fun.
Yeah. And that is the 8 career paths.
Okay.
Now, if you want to start at one of the career paths and work backwards on the origin path, you may.
Why don't you do this? Why don't we just go up and do the homeworlds, do a quick little view of the homeworlds, although they're pretty explainable, and then the middle parts we can figure out on our own, I think.
All right. Yeah, if anybody needs a description on one of the in-between, I can do that.
So looking at if I understood correctly, like you go diagonal or...
Yes.
Right.
Depending on which direction you're going, you either go up or down, directly up or down, or one diagonally in either direction.
So if you're trying to get the Astropath Transcendent, you have to have Endurance. It's a requirement. But then you can either pick Press Gang or Hand of War. And if you pick Press Gang, then it opens up to Tainted Criminal or Renegade. Yep. So it opens up a little bit more depending on if you go angular.
Okay, yeah, because I was looking at start from the bottom up, and
if you know your class, that's going to be your better option. Is to sort of start from the bottom and work your way up.
So as far as worlds go, death worlds are basically worlds that are hard to survive on. The plants, the beast, environment is trying to kill you. They are very harsh, and as such, people from there tend to have more resilience to poisons and eating rotten things, right? Because they have to do what they can to survive. Their modifiers are generally to strength. They get a benefit to strength and toughness, and they lose to willpower and fellowship. Voidborn is you are born in space, somewhere in either the warp or in the void of space. They are not from a world. Their bonus is to willpower, and they lose strength because, being born in space, you tend not to have gravity to help you build up that sort of thing. Forge worlds are Adeptus Mechanicus worlds. They are where the machines of war are built. The tanks, the titans, anything else. They are very industrialized worlds. Like Star Wars, worlds in 40K are pretty one-dimensional, generally. Hive worlds are basically massive slums filled with not the best living conditions, very overpopulated, stuff like that. As such, people from Hive worlds are not very tough, but they have better fellowship. And they are accustomed to crowds. They can blend into large crowds and slip away from people. Imperial worlds are basically civilized city worlds. They are the common place where much of the Imperium lives. It's technological, it is well kept, as much as any other place in the Imperium is. Law enforced, looked after. And the last one is Nobleborn. They are high nobility, wealthy, They come from the powerful elite. The nobility often has fleets of these rogue traders that they send out to collect profit and build their own empire. And that is them. As rogue traders, you have a writ of trade. It is an ancient document giving you basically the right to do what you need to do out in unexplored space. If you come across a ship and need to blow it up for whatever reason, your writ kind of gives you the authority unless somebody else supersedes it somehow. If you find a planet that has never been colonized before by Imperium, but has other people there, and you plunder it for profit, that's fine. Right? As long as you are not going against the Imperium, it doesn't matter who else you oppose there. Rob, steal, whatever.
Interesting. Okay. Real quick regarding the stats. I obviously most of this is pretty explanatory, except with Fellowship, is that like basically like charisma, like your people skills?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that was right. I figured it was, but I just wanted to make sure. Okay. Okay. Regarding the classes, is there specific skills that fit the classes better or not really? Like specific stats. Sorry.
Arch militants probably want to have a high weapon skill and ballistic skill.
Makes sense.
I think
astropaths
Explorators want
probably
high intelligence.
Yeah, astropaths probably need a high willpower.
I mean, you can kind of scroll down and see like the skill list and see what stats are associated with each skill. That gives you a decent idea of what the different things do.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Well, let's go back to Scaly's original question, which was, is there any class that's standing out to somebody that they want to take and just say, I want to try this out tonight?
I believe someone already called the Astropath Transcendent, right? Because they wanted a Psyker type character.
Yeah, that was me.
All right, let me make a
So we got
mark
one
here.
there.
Right, but is there anything floating anybody else's boat here? Or...
I'll be the rogue trader. I'm in charge.
You want to do a rogue trader? Go for it. I wasn't going to go that direction anyways.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else have an interest?
I got astropath and a rogue trader.
We got the two ends.
I said take Seneschal.
Seneschal, all right.
Okay, Arco, what are you thinking?
I'm leaning towards Arch Militant, but I guess, I mean, since we're planning on doing a one-off with combat anyways, I'll do Arch Militant.
Okay, cool.
I just gotta figure out how to get there.
The fun part. What are you talking about?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's part of the fun. It's just I gotta figure out where I want to start to get there. I know where I'm going to end up, either on endurance or fortune, but it's all the other things.
All right.
Since everybody's picking their career, let's go backwards then, and I will describe motivations next.
So I have a thinking either explorator or navigator. You said navigators are like mutants or something, right?
Yes.
And explorator is IT.
So in the Imperium, humanity is first and foremost. Mutants are generally not tolerated anywhere, except for a very few select cases because it's necessary. Navigators are necessary for space travel, therefore they are tolerated, they are accepted, they are kind of treated well. But any others aren't because they can corrupt the planets they're on. Mutation is often seen as a sign of chaos that leads to corruption and insanity and demons showing up on your planets. So generally speaking, mutants are not dealt with well.
Yeah. I just out of curiosity, because I see that.
You mean like nuked from orbit dealt well?
Oh
Dealt well?
yeah.
Okay.
In bad cases, yes.
So if there's like an outbreak of mutation on a planet and we discover it, we're fully within our rights to, like, tell the Imperium to nuke the planet, or what do we do?
You can recommend that, yes. But
Interesting.
the game takes place kind of in an unexplored sector, so whether they will come with forces enough to do that is another question.
Yeah, there are also mutants, various kinds of mutants that are like tolerated and useful, like Ogryn and Ratlings are kind of like different. Those are variants on humanity that have basically been determined to be like they're stable enough and useful in the Imperial Guard, so we'll deal with them. It's not like any kind of mutation, but it's if you're getting a lot of people with eyes in the wrong places, then that tells you there might be some corruption around. That's a problem. You should probably kill everyone.
And also, rogue traders, given the autonomy that they have, if anywhere in the Imperium is going to have mutants, rogue traders might. If they find people that are, not bad people for whatever reason, and can befriend them and crew them, they might. Now, they might have to hide them when they are interacting with society. But, rogue traders in general, the ships have more open mind than your run-of-the-mill Imperial fanatics.
And I think my question would be, like, going planet side, is that going to be a major issue in a sense?
No, not just from being a navigator, no.
No. Navigators actually have a level of prestige, but...
Yeah.
Do they? Okay, so as long as everyone kind of knows I'm a navigator, they just don't care, is what you're telling me. That I'm mutated or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll be afraid of you, but they won't just like mindlessly hate you. Well, okay, some religious fanatics will.
Yeah.
But it's also like there are ancient dynasties of the navigator families that have enormous political power because of that.
And some might try to kidnap you because they don't have a navigator yet.
Yeah, you actually have a lot more value than, say, my arch-militant would. Because while my arch-militant can fire a gun really well, that doesn't necessarily mean they need somebody like me. They may need you a lot more than they need somebody like me.
Lots of people can fire a gun. Anyone can be trained to fire a gun. No one can be trained to be a navigator.
No, okay. I'll go with navigator. That sounds cool.
Well, not easily, and possibly not willingly.
Okay, so going backwards, that means I can only do pride or prestige. Okay.
Yes.
But remember, this is your motivation. This isn't necessarily...
I got it.
All right, so the Astropath Transcendent, your only available motivation is endurance. You seek to endure and, in enduring, grow stronger. You welcome opposition, risks, setbacks, injury, pain, etc. Your benefit is +1 wound. Let's do the wounds first. Since these
it's part of your home world. Determines some things with wounds.
Yeah. Oh, it does. Okay, so just mark down there then +1 wound.
Yeah, I've worked my way up to the birthright.
Okay. Arca, you have endurance also, and also fortune available. You seek wealth beyond measure. That's kind of self-explanatory. The effect of that is +1 fate point.
Oh, that's nice.
So you can do endurance or fortune. Seneschal can do renown, pride, or prestige. So renown, you seek to become eternal through glory and reputation, pretty much. You want your name to be spoken on the lips of the multitudes and extend into the millennia ahead of you. The effect of Renown is your choice of Heir of Authority or the Peer Choose One talent. For Pride, you want to respect and admiration of allies and grudging esteem of foes, and you will countenance no insult to your honor. The effect of that is an heirloom item or a +3 to toughness. +3 toughness, so you can choose +3 toughness or an heirloom item. And prestige for the rogue trader is just that you want to dedicate your life to climbing the ladder in search of the highest station you can reach and the greatest power. The effect of prestige is your choice of talented, choose one talent, or the peer, choose one talent. The talented talent generally adds, I believe it's +10 to one of the skills chosen for the talented. And
Okay.
peer is...
Here. +10 to all fellowship tests from interacting with the chosen group.
Okay, yeah. So you're basically well known among a group of people.
Yeah. Or a particular like class of people you deal very well with.
Dark Voyage sounds kind of cool. But you get insanity points?
Oh, yeah. The path I took is I have to make 2 of those rolls. Like I could choose, corruption or insanity, and 2 of the paths I take, I have to make rolls for that. Yeah. I might have started off, follow the rules, but as I went down through the list, I got lost along the way.
So who has a motivation in mind?
Uh,
That is not forced. I will do the forced ones here.
I'm doing prestige.
I'm doing fortune.
Yeah, I'm doing prestige as well.
No, and someone has to. And
we agree.
And
we all take
Astropath
prestige.
has to
How
be
funny.
endurance. Okay. So the options from here is the Hand of War, Trials and Travail. These are some of the things you've had to endure at this point, I believe. Yep. Experiences you've endured, experience that have forged you into what you are. Hand of War. You have fought and bled with true allies, lost friends, stuff like that. So with Travails, you get all of the traits. The Ashes of War gives you 1 weapon training talent of your choice or the Leap Up talent, as well as the Hatred talent against a foe. And also the Face of the Enemy. You will never willingly have dealings with a sworn enemy except under the direst circumstances, and if you do so, you suffer a penalty to fellowship tests. Press ganged. You were basically forced into captivity and to work on things. You were forced into serving somebody in the past. How you managed to escape and stuff is up to you, or a secret that you rarely share. They get an unwilling accomplice. Thanks to your shadowed past, you've picked up some knowledge on the way that you would not normally have access to. It gives you a single skill, as long as it has no prerequisites for your character. And you may also either select a single additional common lore or improve a common lore. And then also Jealous Freedom. Jealous Freedom gives you 1 weapon training talent of your choice or the Leap Up talent, as well as the Hatred talent against a foe. And also the Face of the Enemy. You will never willingly have dealings with a sworn enemy except under the direst circumstances, and if you do so, you suffer a penalty to fellowship tests.
And then also Jealous Freedom
You may take a willpower test to avert, what is this? You react violently towards the prospects of imprisonment or loss of your freedom. You may take a willpower test to avert that, modified by the provocation. So anytime something comes up where you may be imprisoned or lose your freedom, you might go kind of crazy there. Calamity, something really bad has happened. It might have been famine, plague, some disaster when you were growing up. They gain the Light Sleeper talent and the choice of Hardy or Nerves of Steel talent. And they also get Echo of Hard Times. Thanks to the adversities of the past, you reduce your group's starting profit factor by 1.
Yeah, sorry folks, I'm taking Calamity.
Let's see, Shiplorn is not open to anybody, so Dark Voyage.
Yep.
You have been in situations where a Gellerfield malfunctioned, and you experience the horrifying Xenos encounters or brief chaos encounters. You hear, let's see, they tell of hell hulks crewed by the lost and warp storms that howl with mocking voices. Things man was not meant to know. You may gain a single forbidden lore skill pertaining to your experience, or may increase a forbidden lore skill you already possess, or you may gain the resistance to fear talent. And also marked by darkness, you gain 1d5 insanity points.
Oh boy. Okay, so yeah, it looks like we choose a forbidden lore skill, and that's like the thing we encountered and had some kind of traumatic experience with. And
Pretty much. And you've either, through your experience or study afterwards, you've learned a bit about it. And let's see, High Vendetta. Let's see, your allies were caught up in deadly vendetta with another faction or a murderous feud that consumed your life and sent friends to their graves. Whether your enemies were a rival crew, a noble house, a cult cartel, or whatever, what matters is that you fought and would do so again. Traits, Blood will have blood. You gain your choice of the Die Hard or Paranoia talent, and gain the Inquiry skill, or if you already possess it, increase it by 1 level. And Brook no insult. You will allow no serious offense to your honor or person or those under your protection to pass unchallenged. You may take a willpower test to avert this if you wish, modified by the provocation and the consequence of succumbing. Oh, the consequence is succumbing to your rage.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do the Dark Voyage. That looks so cool, even with the insanity.
where do we record insanity on here?
Press ganged for me. It's about
right.
It's about to get real interesting.
Yeah, it's opening up more doors here.
So let's do the insanity roll. Roll 1d5.
Oh Lord, where are we bringing out the insanity?
Yep, 1d5. Okay.
I have 2 rolls coming here when we get to the next couple sections.
Okay.
I just don't know if I want insanity or corruption. Or both.
Wow, I got 5. Good job,
Nice.
All right, 5 insanity points.
This is exactly what you want from a navigator.
Oh, in that case, I'll go corruption then. That's what you want out of your adept, your transcendent is, corruption.
So what I'm hearing is I'm always going to have a gun trained at the Astropath.
Let's see. Where do we put the insanity points? Is there a place in here somewhere?
Oh, it's right there at the top, near right underneath your talents, I believe, or right underneath your attributes.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's really
fate
important.
Points, quick skills, fatigue.
Am I missing something?
Yeah, I think
8
so.
points.
Fate points are a different thing.
Oh wait, I'm sorry, I might be looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah.
It's under talents. It's in the talents tab.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Up
Yeah,
there it is.
insanity
yep,
points
there
and
it is.
corruption points.
Yeah.
All right. Oh.
Stable is 0 to 9. Okay.
So I'm still stable, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the moment.
For the
We
moment.
can fix that.
Okay, cool. All right.
Please note, Perils of the Warp can take you either down the insanity or corruption range. So
Who else is taking Dark Voyage with me?
I am.
Oh.
Oh, this is great. I love this crew already.
All right.
Yeah.
What is Jeff taking? High Vendetta or Dark Voyage?
High Vendetta, I think. Yeah, High Vendetta.
I'm just going to point out, I apologize that I'm already affecting our fortune. My bad.
That's fine.
So,
the calamity
profit
thing
point.
reduces it.
Calamity -1 profit point.
yeah.
Whatever.
The
It's fine.
profit factor is a group thing. So that will factor in at the end.
Okay.
And 1 point is not horrible.
Yeah, but we have other things to go through, so.
All right, let's see. Lure of the Void.
Tricky.
Lure of the Void. Few Imperial citizens ever see beyond the narrow horizons of faith, toil, and the vicissitudes of life upon a single world. Yet there are people, bright sparks amidst the darkness of ignorance. It is a continuing strange miracle of human nature that from the downtrodden, planet-born, blah blah blah, what brought you into space? Tainted! Let's see. Yep, Tainted is available to somebody. You are vile in the eyes of the holy, declared tainted by your twisted form, or marked by your accursed bloodline, or your strange demeanor and heretical beliefs.
You really don't want that, man. That your astropath. Oh God.
I mean, I'm going to be honest.
Astropath.
Most astropaths did not have pleasant childhoods. You know.
The effect of being tainted is you choose one of the following: you are either a mutant, or you are insane, or you have a deviant philosophy.
See, only one of those options sounds good, and I'm not going to say which one.
Criminal. The wheels of imperial justice turn slowly, but they will surely grind to a pulp any life caught in their path. You were a criminal at one point for whatever reason. See the effects. You wanted fugitive, hunted by a crime baron, or judged and found wanting. Let's see. Wanted fugitive gives you enemy of the Adeptus Arbites and peer of the underworld talents. Hunted by a crime baron, you gain a plus to perception and an enemy underworld talent. And judged and found wanting. Minus to fellowship, you gain 1 poor craftsmanship bionic limb or implant. And you may spend up to 200 XP of your starting experience to upgrade it to a common craftsmanship. Or 300 to upgrade it to good craftsmanship. Let's see, Renegade is an option.
Yep.
The Imperium survives and prospers in no small part due to the narrowness of its vision and by the strictures imposed by its high walls, harsh order, and obedient faith on worlds where no man looks beyond the simple roles taught in childhood. Apparently, you buck that system. Effect. Recidivist.
I have to choose one.
You gain enemy, Adeptus Arbites, and resistance interrogation talents. You also gain a concealment as a trained basic skill. Or Freethinker. You gain your choice of +3 intelligence or +3 perception. You suffer -3 to willpower and gain the enemy ecclesiarchy talent. That would be really good if there was a missionary on board. Dark Visionary. You suffer your choice of 1d5 +1 corruption points or 1d5 +1 insanity points. In return, you gain the Dark Soul talent and Forbidden Lore.
Yes, I wonder which one I went with.
I'm thinking you have Dark Visionary as a renegade.
Correct.
All right, let's see. Another option here is Duty Bound. Only the ignorant believe that the duty is a prison forced on others by those in power. True duty arises spontaneously from the soul, a call to service and struggle that should be neither shirked nor denied. See the effects. You can choose Duty to the Throne. You gain a +3 willpower, and if you meet the willpower +40 prerequisite, the Armor of Contempt talent, you suffer a -10 penalty to interaction tests when dealing with any source outside of the Imperium. Example, aliens and traitors. Or Duty to Humanity. You gain your choice of +3 to Perception or Intelligence, and you suffer -1 to your group's beginning profit factor. Or Duty to your Dynasty. You gain the Rival Rogue Trader family talent and suffer -3 to Toughness. You gain a bonus of +1 to your group's beginning profit factor. Zealot. You possess faith so great that it has carried you far beyond the mundane life that would otherwise have been your lot. Effects: Blessed Scars, a +2 Intimidate test, and -2 to Charm, and 1 Poor Craftsmanship Bionic that you can upgrade with experience. Unnerving Clarity, a +2 Willpower, and you suffer -2 to Fellowship or a D10 Insanity points. Favored by the Faithful, +5 to Fellowship, and the Peer Ecclesiarchy talent, but -2 to Toughness. Or Chosen by Destiny. Kind of speaks for itself. You can choose whether the God Emperor looked down upon you or whatever. Let's see. Seeker of Truth, you gain the Foresight talent and the Enemy Academics or Ecclesiarchy talent, and suffer a penalty to Willpower, -3. Xenophile, you gain a +10 to Fellowship when dealing with alien races or cultures, but you suffer to Willpower involving alien artifacts and alien psychic powers. Or Fated for Greatness, you gain +1 Fate point, but you suffer 1d10 +1 Insanity points.
Ooh, this is a tougher one for me. Well, I know what I want above it, but that doesn't change anything because all of them will get me there. So,
Yep, I'm going with Duty Bound, Duty to Humanity. I will be reducing our profit factor.
no
So
one
we're at
cares about profit factor.
-2 so far?
Yeah.
I'm going to go Criminal.
All right.
I'm going to take I believe it's the Bionic option.
So I have a question. How bad is it with the insanity? Like what happens if I get too high of an insanity?
Oh, fun, great things.
You aren't our friend anymore.
You get different things happen, like, you'll get different like debuffs to like your various roles. I know at least the corruption, at least in Dark Heresy, some of the stuff is temporary, but then if you go high enough, stuff starts to become very permanent. You can develop ticks.
Okay.
If you want an example, there's a great YouTuber, Rubik's Raptor, who did a lot did a couple of videos on Dark Tide, and
you know what? Let's have fun with this. This is a throwaway character, anyways. I'm going with Chosen by Destiny, and I'm going with the Fated for Greatness.
Okay.
Which gives me 1d10 +1 insanity points.
But
right.
here's an example of the insanity from that game. Is the Psyker actually starts yelling at the subtitles in the game.
Okay, not nearly as bad as it could have been. So I only got 3 more.
Eight now? Yeah, you're
So I'm only at 8 insanity points right now.
So once you get to 10, you are now unsettled, and you have a +10 trauma modifier, which is
trauma modifier. Okay.
Like let's see. If the test mental trauma. So each time you gain 10 insanity points, you must make a trauma test. It's willpower modified by how many insanity points you have accrued in total. If the test is passed, you manage to cope with the experiences without ill effect. If it is failed, roll a d100, adding 10 for every degree of failure, comparing the result to table for things. You can get stuff like becoming withdrawn and quiet, suffering -10 to all fellowship-based tests that last for the next up to 30 hours. You can get temporary severe phobia that lasts for a few days. You can get vivid and extreme nightmares whenever you try to sleep that last for several days.
Well, this will be fun.
So most of them seem to be temporary when you get new disorders.
Okay, cool.
And through gameplay, you can slowly reduce insanity. It takes a lot of prayer, fasting, etc., or mental care, and then experience cost to reduce points, 1 point at a time.
Yep. Okay, cool. But yeah, I'm doing Chosen by Destiny.
Go with self-flagellation.
Did you mark me down as duty bound? You marked as the wrong person.
Did I? Oh, I did.
I believe.
Yeah, I'm duty bound.
Yeah, Maxim was going that way.
Oh, yeah, I did the wrong.
I'm sorry, it's Matt, isn't it?
No, Owen.
Yeah.
Owen. Oh, I don't even.
Are you Owen?
Are you Selamus?
Yeah, Selamos,
Oh,
Owen,
okay.
Maxim. I have also been called Matt, but that was a weird situation where I was in a call with someone else named Owen and someone else named Matthew.
Oh, no.
Let's just get them all wrong.
Well, no. I was sitting here. I was going, okay. I know Scaly. I thought Matt was Selamus, and
All right, who are we missing? We're missing
My
one,
brain.
right?
Sorry.
Jeff going with Zealot or Chosen by Destiny?
Oh, I thought I said Chosen by Destiny. That's right.
Ah, we're both Chosen by Destiny. Look at that.
Destiny chose 2 people.
Yes, exactly.
Not me, though.
Except I'm not going with the insanity option.
Yes, we're chosen in different ways.
Yeah, I'm going with Xenophile.
All right, so birthrights. It looks like all of these are options. So, Scavenger, you became an adult amidst the yearning and poverty of the least of the God Emperor's folk, basically living off what you can scavenge. You gain unremarkable talent or the resistance to fear talent, plus a +3 bonus to your choice of willpower or agility, and you suffer 1d5 corruption or 1d5 insanity. Scapegrace. You spent your years living by your wits as a scapegrace amidst entertainers, gangers, reclamators, and other ne'er-do-wells. The effect is you gain sleight of hand as a trained basic skill, plus a bonus of +3 to your choice of intelligence or perception, and you suffer 1d5 corruption or insanity points. I wonder if this is going to be a continuing trend. Stubjack. You were born to violence. It has surrounded your whole life, and you've had a weapon in easy reach ever since you were strong enough to grip one. You gain the quick draw talent and gain intimidate as a trained basic skill. You gain a bonus of +5 to your choice of weapon skill or ballistic skill, but you suffer both -5 to fellowship and 1d5 insanity points. Oh, no corruption there. Child of the Creed. It was not until comparatively late in your youth that you set foot in a room in which the stern gaze of the God Emperor was absent, and during your impressionable years you were shielded by the enfolding arms of the Ministerium from much of the hardships and uncertainty. You gain the Unshakable Faith talent and a bonus of either +3 to willpower or fellowship, your choice, but you suffer a -3 weapon skill. No corruption or insanity. Savant. To a scholar's ear, there is no worse sound than the tearing of parchment. It always marks a desecration of one sort or another. Apprentices are brought young into the adept's trade. You sit in attendance at meeting after meeting. Effect, you gain your choice of logic as a trained basic skill or pure academic talent. You also gain your choice of +3 to intelligence or fellowship, but you suffer -3 toughness. And vaunted, you grew to adulthood upon the spire of wealth and privilege that towers, in some cases literally, high above the common imperial masses. You expect their obedience and lived upon the fruits of their toil, surrounded by your surrendered to your extended family in solemn fealty. You gain the decadence talent and a bonus of +3 to agility or fellowship, your choice, and you suffer a -3 perception and 1d5 corruption points.
Decadence talent. A bonus to resist addiction. There you go. And you can drink massive amounts of alcohol without passing out. Perfect.
I have been exposed to vice my entire life. You cannot tempt me. Give me another.
Well, you can tempt me, but it won't. It doesn't control me.
All right, well, I'm doing Savant. I already knew that.
All right, Savant.
All right, Matt, which way are you going?
The child of the Creed.
Okay, I was going Stubjack. I just didn't want us both to be Stubjack.
It's fine. You can both be Stubjacks. It's so good.
No, it's the idea I was going with, because what makes it funny is I started at the bottom with Aspirator Ascendant, and I was press ganged because I was a Dark Visionary, but I started off like Children of the Creed, so I started off like I was on the right check, and then I just kind of lost my way somewhere.
Well, I think we know how I became a criminal now.
You dared think for yourself and became a renegade, then you were press ganged. You endured it.
First time?
I get the feeling that my Stubjack stabbed the wrong guy, and that's why he's now a criminal. Or he lost because of it's a bionic, or he wandered into the wrong place, and it did not end well.
What about Owen?
I am going with Savant.
And Jeff?
Savant, yeah, Savant.
Savant's all the way down.
We are full of savants in this group.
Yep.
And then the entire party came from the same hive world.
Oh, yes, that is the question.
No. I'm Imperial.
Imperial.
I'm coming from a hive world.
Yep. The world's already briefly
Yeah, I already
described.
filled that out. Yeah, so yeah.
I was just noticing we could have all come from a hive world. We all our paths
Yeah,
converged.
you're right. We could have all gone from the same hive world.
That explains why we all got on the same damn ship.
You laugh and you think it's cute, but I think it's a limitation of the system.
Well, remember, you could have gone either way. You could have started at the top.
No, you can't pick something far out of your path, right? You have to follow a narrow path. You can't choose something unusual. So yeah. It's okay.
I mean, you can do whatever. This is like a starting character guidelines thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the options is to ignore the path and just pick whatever, or even roll randomly each time.
Oh, that could have been really fun.
But for starting out, following the path.
I might go Nobleborn, actually.
Nobleborn.
Just for fun.
Wow, It kind of makes sense, especially since I decided to go with the bio mod. So yeah, I think I'm going to go Forge World. Because it will explain how I got a friggin' biomod.
And Nobleborn gives us a +1 on our profit factor. Look, we got one of our points back. It's more profitable to have a noble person on board.
Yeah, but going Forge World affected my weapon skill.
Okay, now let's see how it changes all my stats here. Oof, -5 to willpower, +5 to fellowship. Okay.
All right, who are we missing here? Matt, what homeworld?
Imperial.
Imperial, all right. So the Forge Worlder, let's do this in order. Forge Worlder gains a -5 to weapon skill and a +5 to intelligence.
Yep, I got that in.
Starting skills, common lore text. So the starting skills, let me load up my sheet here onto skills. Let's see, okay, so there's room for common lores. So common lore tech and common lore machine cult are untrained basic skills.
So I click the basic option?
So you add it, type in the common lore type or whatever, and then click the basic. And what that do will set your roll to half of your intelligence. Normally you can't do common lore unless you are a basic skill or trained in that specific common lore.
Does that say technical knock talent? Or is that supposed to be knack?
Where?
It ought to be knack.
Credo Omnissiah, rather than being fully indoctrinated in the Imperial Creed, you are the lowliest of Forge World society. All Forge World characters begin with the technical knock talent. You know, I was just joking about me smacking the crap out of a modder, but
technical
apparently...
knock. It is technical knock. It is percussive maintenance.
Yeah.
It requires 30 intelligence.
Either through the ease of long practice or the proper ritual to appease the weapon's machine spirit, you can clear stoppages in weapons. You may unjam any gun as a half action, but may only perform this right on one weapon per round. Slam it against the wall and unjam it.
Wow, this one's actually very interesting. The next one under it, because of this starting Forge World character. Well, no, I'm talking about fit for purpose. A starting world character may increase a characteristic of his choice by +3. That's the top row, right? So I lost 5 to weapon skill, but I could gain 3 back in it.
Yes, a characteristic of your choice.
Oh man, and wow. The funny thing, I mean, these are just throwaway characters, as it was said. But yeah, since I want to be the shooty guy, I'm going to bring my ballistic back up.
And let's see, stranger to the cult. Although Forge World-born citizens know that the Emperor is their god and savior, they see the Imperial Creed through the lens of the cult Mechanicus doctrine. As a result, they can be surprisingly, and sometimes dangerously, ignorant of the common teachings and practices of the ecclesiarchy. Often failing to offer its clerics the level of deference they expect, Forge World characters suffer a -10 penalty on tests involving knowledge of the Imperial Creed, and a -5 penalty on fellowship tests to interact with members of the ecclesiarchy in formal settings. That would probably go in traits. Yeah, talents section, traits. Because it will not directly mechanically affect anything on the sheet, you'll have to manually add the -10 penalty when you do those types of things.
Yeah, but that's knowledge of the Imperial Creed. I don't need to know that stuff.
No, the cult Mechanicus is very different from the Ecclesiarchy. They worship different things. Let's see, starting world, you double your starting toughness bonus and add 1d5 plus 1 to the result. So the toughness bonus is the tens digit.
Yeah, I don't see where you can double it on the character sheet. No biggie.
Normally it would.
No, I think that's how you calculate your health, right, or whatever.
Yeah, so toughness bonus. The sample character I have has a toughness of 32. So the bonus would be a 3. So for starting wounds, I would do 6. So 1d5 plus 1 plus 6 in this case.
Okay, but like, how does that apply to something like Carouse? Or do you have to like add that as a mod?
Ow,
No. The bonus isn't involved in rolling skills, and skills you're just rolling under the attribute.
Okay. So the only time it's ever used is in starting wounds.
There's other times things, you use
yes.
the bonus, like your damage. You'll roll a d10 and you'll add your strength bonus to the damage or something. Things like that. But there are a few things that use the bonus, or like command checks. You affect a number of people equal to your fellowship bonus.
Yeah, but the little gray thing is modifiable, so you can manually set it as the tens digit of the attribute. And then for starting fate points, roll a d10, Arca.
I can't be ready.
2.
You begin with maintaining 2 fate points.
Technically 3, because I got 1 for a previous.
Modify it by anything from the path. And while we are on the topic of fate points, fate points refresh every session. You may use a fate point at any time, either on your own turn or in reaction to somebody else's. They let you re-roll a failed test once, but the results of the failed test of the re-roll is final. You can, before you roll, spend a fate point to gain a plus 10 bonus to your test. You can add an extra degree of success to a test that may be chosen after the dice are rolled. You can count as having rolled a d10, a 10 for initiative. You can instantly remove 1d5 damage, not critical. It does not affect critical damage. Or you may instantly recover from being stunned. So if there's a roll you really need to make, you can choose to like increase your bonus by 10 when you roll, or re-roll a failure afterwards.
Yeah, and the adding an extra degree of success, that's exactly the same as adding 10 to the check, but you can do it afterwards, and it doesn't help you succeed the roll, only make you succeed more if you did.
Yeah, helps you succeed better. Like, for instance, to pull a random situation, if you roll whatever skill would let you scavenge some equipment that would give you like $50 per degree of success. You can add that afterwards to get another degree of success for an extra $50.
Joe, I'm sorry, I forgot to roll for 1d5 on my insanity points for subject.
Oh, go ahead.
So 3.
3 is good. All right, let's see. Hive World. Let's do that one next. Or have you already done that?
Yeah, I already did that.
Okay. I will tell people. Hive Worlders have a penalty to toughness and a bonus to fellowship. They can speak the language of their hive dialect as an untrained basic skill. They are accustomed to crowds. Crowds do not count as difficult terrain to hivers. When running or charging through dense crowds, they take no penalty. Caves of Steel. To a hiver surrounded at all times by metal, machinery, and industry, the lesser arcane mysteries of technology are not so strange. They treat tech use as an untrained basic skill. Hivebound. Oh no, they endure the horrors of the open sky. They suffer a minus 10 penalty to all survival tests, and while out of a proper hab, they suffer a minus 5 penalty to intelligence tests too. Makes them stop thinking right. Wary, they are constantly alert for the first hint of trouble. They get a +1 bonus to initiative. Starting wounds, 1d5 +1, plus double their toughness bonus. And wounds, there should be a max and a current, I believe.
Yep, I've got 10 wounds.
And starting fate points. Did you roll that?
Yeah, I got 4.
Alright, let's see. Imperial World. +3 willpower. No penalties. Blessed Ignorance. They know the proper ways of living are those tried and tested by the generations that have gone before. Their wise blindness imposes a -5 penalty on forbidden lore tests. Hagiography. Widespread scriptures describing the lives and most importantly the deaths of the emperors, blessed saints, and war masters, and the sequence of endless wars, crusades, and terrors that make up history grant imperial citizens a comparatively wide knowledge of the Imperium of Man. They get Common Lore Imperial Creed, Common Lore Imperium, and Common Lore War as untrained basic skills. Everybody knows war on Imperial Worlds. Liturgical Familiarity. They gain Literacy and Speak Language High Gothic as untrained basic skills. Starting wounds are a d5 plus double their toughness bonus. Starting fate points, looks like the same odds. Oh no, 1 to 8 is 3. They do not start with 2 at all. And we have a Nobleborn, -5 willpower, +5 fellowship. Starting skills, Literacy, Speak Language High Gothic, and Speak Language Low Gothic as untrained basic. Schooled in Etiquette, they get a +10 bonus to interaction tests when dealing with high authority and formal stations. Oh, and informal situations. Legacy of Wealth, +1 to starting profit factor. Supremely Connected, they have extensive connections and they know that dropping the right names into a conversation can open more doors than a fistful of thrones. They begin with peer nobility talent. And also to reflect the family's power base, they gain 1 additional peer from the following list: Academics, Adeptus Mechanicus, Administratum, Astropaths, Ecclesiarchy, Government, Mercantile, Military, or Underworld. Vendetta. They have rival rogue traders. Details of these enemies are left to the player and the game master to define.
Yeah, we'll deal with that later.
Starting wounds, double their toughness, +1d5. And fate points, yep.
Okay, so let me do the 1d5. A whole 2. And I add that to 3 for the, or 6, I mean, for the toughness.
Yes.
Okay. If it's in the 30s, right? I assume.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I have a whole 8 toughness, fun, or 8 health, whatever, wounds.
You can improve wounds.
Yeah, and then a D10, I think, for fate points, right? Okay.
Yes.
Seven.
On a 7, 4 to 9, you begin with 3 fate points.
3, okay. And I get a spare, so I have 4 fate points. Oh, I see. There was a button for starting ones. I didn't even know that. That's fine. I'll keep the one I had.
Oh, there is?
Yeah. If you literally, it says starting ones 1d5 plus on it. Under wounds. And it's like a little button that you can roll. I'm not sure what the use of a button that you're only going to roll at the very beginning, but sure, whatever.
Where's that button at?
It's under the combat. If you go to the combat tab and then it's armor and defense, you'll see it under wounds plus.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I see what it does. Okay.
What?
So wait, I think it takes your starting roll. Let's see if it does this. Oh, okay, I see. It doesn't actually add anything. It's kind of weird. Like you would put whatever you rolled on your 1d5 plus there, and then your 2 times your thing, which is your toughness bonus.
Yeah, so you're filling everything in.
Yeah, just filling everything in.
So
but it doesn't
that
like
starting button is kind of silly.
Yeah, like what's the point of a starting button? But yeah. So your current and your maximum sort of thing. So I have 8 out of 8. Woohoo! All right. And then we sort of go through the list to make sure we adjust all of the things that we need to adjust because of our choices.
Yes.
Right? Okay. That's fine. Why don't we go to the classes to see what we're getting from those?
Yep. So next is...
Yeah, I'll deal with that.
I think you get 500 experience points.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was 4,500 according to the book.
That is considered already spent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a weird thing because all the 40K games are set in like the same system, and so it's just like a starting rogue trader character is like a starting Dark Heresy character, but with 5,000 XP already. Just like
all characters begin play with 4,500 experience points.
Keep reading.
This initial amount is already considered. Then why are you fucking telling? Jesus Christ, I hate this. If I already spent it, then don't tell me I had it. That's just insane. Okay.
All right, where is experience points?
Yeah, you start with 500, and then your class tells you what you can spend it on and how much it costs.
Yeah, because
also have an additional 500 that I can spend to increase characteristics, acquire improved skills.
So your starting skills is, I'm assuming that's basically what you end up spending the 4,500 on. I want to just give it a starting skills, but whatever. Okay, starting skills, okay.
So starting skills, you go down the list and check the trained. These are skills you are trained in.
If it says if one of my things on my path says you get inquiry, but it doesn't tell me if I get it at trained or basic or whatever.
I think
get it at trained.
Yeah, right? I think you get all of them at trained, and also I'm pretty sure I was reading through the skills chapter, and I think there's a weird thing with this sheet where it like says basic and trained. You should check both of those boxes if you get one of those advanced skills.
Yes.
Most of mine said basic.
What you just said.
No, yeah, so most of mine actually said basic.
Hold
on. If it says I get the inquiry skill, I just mark it off as trained. Okay. If it says I get the basic skill of, like, for example, logic, okay, do I check that off as plus 10? Is that what basic is?
No. Basic is you don't check anything.
Okay.
No, it's got to check for
trained. Basic. But then, so I get it as trained, no?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm a little confused by that.
I need to know what is it coming from?
I don't know. Okay, let me go through the whole fucking path and let me find it again.
Yeah, because I got a training in logic from being a savant, but I believe that's basic.
I got that for logic as well. Basic skill, you get the basic skill logic.
Yeah, but there is a check mark for basic, so
logic is a basic skill, and the first check mark is for trained.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
It's just
under basic skills. Okay, you get it as trained.
Okay. Under advanced
says I get inquiry, I'm assuming I get that under basic as well, or improves the level that was on the thing too. So yes, I'll get it as basic. Okay.
Yeah.
Now that makes sense.
Okay.
And then you go through your class and you check off all the basic skills.
Common law, novice, noble art.
Yep.
Yeah. On your class,
the advanced skills are a little different for us.
On your career, any starting skill you mark as trained. So like I'm on Explorator right now.
Commerce.
Right, because I have, I don't know what this is. Common Lord Navis Noblite. I have no idea what that is. Sure.
You're the navigator, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
my navigation.
That's the term for navigation. That's the navigation guild.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Navis Nobilite.
Okay, and now when I type these in, it has a button for both basic and trained. I'm assuming this is a trained one? Or
that is a trained. All starting skills are trained, yes.
Okay, for your class stuff, they're considered trained. Okay.
Yeah, and you do have to select basic and trained.
And trained to get the right addition. Okay, gotcha. All right, cool. And Forbidden Lore Navigator's Warp. Okay. It says Navigators and Warp. Are these two different ones under Forbidden Lore? Or
yes.
Is it sort of combined? Okay.
Forbidden Lore Navigators and Forbidden Lore Warp.
I'm apparently, I don't know, man. I seem like a talent monkey in like weaponry.
That's good,
sound
right?
constitution. What the hell?
Sound constitution improves your wounds by 1 each time you take it.
So if I've already got literacy, it doesn't like up it or anything like that, right?
Let me see. I think some of these games let you get a bonus to it if you get it more than once.
Vacation, Stellar, and Warp.
If you receive the same skill from more than once from different sources, you gain the skill mastery in that skill. If you gain the same talent more than once from different sources, you may elect to trade in the redundant talent for the talented. Choose one talent.
I mean, it's literacy. I don't think it has a mastery, does it?
Mastery is the plus 10.
Oh, okay. So it gives a plus 10 to it. Okay.
Yeah.
So if we get literacy, we double check it, right? So basic and trained.
Yes.
Yeah, if we get it twice. Yeah.
No, not if we get it twice.
If you get it trained, it is an advanced skill, so you have to select basic and trained.
Yeah.
If
So my starting skills include 2 advanced skills. It includes commerce and literacy. So for commerce and literacy, I mark basic and trained for both of them.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
And literacy, you mark basic and trained. The question
and I got inquiry. Okay, I was supposed to say I got inquiry this way, but it also said on that other part of my path, inquiry or improved 1 level, so I mark it as +10, right?
Yes, because you get it.
Okay.
Which one was that? Was that prestige?
I don't remember.
I'll look.
I just went down as I was choosing them. I wrote down the bonuses I got, and then I didn't bother writing it from.
Let's see. Prestige gave you talented, choose one, or peer, choose one.
Now on the talents, if we don't meet the prerequisite, can we not choose it?
Correct.
Even if it's on our path?
Mm-hmm. Then you might want to increase the relevant attribute.
Oh no, I met all of mine except for one, and it gave me a choice, this or this, and I was like, okay, the second one sounds almost as good as the first, whatever.
Oh, if you get it on one of your background traits, you get it.
Well, it was an either or, and I was like, which one would I take? And since it was between toughness, not toughness, it was nerves of steel and hardy. That's what the other one was, and I was like, I think I'll take nerves of steel because that one makes sense because it makes it harder to be pinned down in fire. I may reroll failed willpower tests to avoid or recover from pinning, is what Nerves of Steel gives me. And considering there are things that can throw me around like or shoot me into a corner, avoiding pinning sounds good.
One thing that's confusing me, the Rogue Trader, my starting talents include Air of Authority, but then also my advances table includes Air of Authority, and it doesn't look like that's a talent you can take multiple times.
No, some of the paths, actually all of the paths, will include some of your starting things because there are options for other characters to jump into that path.
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
So somebody without an Air of Authority that becomes a Rogue Trader has the option of buying it.
Okay.
So yes, if one of your background traits from the origin path gives you a talent that you don't have the prerequisite for, you can still take it. But any advances from your career path have to have prerequisites to meet.
Okay, I'm going to say this now. Nobody let Scaly throw any type of thrown weapon, please. I don't want to die.
How do you know I'm not as good at that? What are you talking about? You don't know what my weapon skill is.
You have basic weapon training. You get a -20 on whatever weapon you're trying to use.
I get pistol weapon training.
I said thrown weapons. I remember the smoke grenade incident.
Look.
I'm sorry, the smoke grenade stun grenade incident. Remember that? We were like, oh, we'll throw down smoke grenades to cover our exit and throw stun grenades at the bad people. What did we do? We threw the stun grenades at our feet and the smoke grenades at the bad people.
You know, it happens.
Many such cases.
So anyway, because of that, on earned experience points on the talent page, give yourself 5,000 earned experience, and for one of your advancements, have starting at 4,500.
I'm sorry, where is that?
Talents tab. Experience and advancements.
You're gonna have to repeat this a little bit because I'm still filling out my skills.
Because basically the stuff that you like Earth Dawn, what you spend, have already spent, determines on what you can advance later. So in this case, that 4,500 that is already assumed to have been spent, you still have to have an entry for it to track right.
How do you enter in XP on this thing?
Earned experience.
Oh, I see. Okay. So you put in how much? 5,000?
5,000.
Okay, and then under then do an advancement.
An advancement, call it, starting character generation, whatever, for 4,500.
Okay, and then it gives us the 500 to spend. I got it.
Yeah.
What was the experience like numbers or whatever that we have to put in to make sure I missed that part of it?
Okay.
5,000 earned experience on the talents tab.
Earned. There it is. Okay.
And then in the advancements taken, do one for your starting or character generation, however you want to title it, and spend 4,500.
So then we have 500 to mess around with.
Yes.
Where do I put weapon training stuff? Because there's no skill for it. The pistol training?
Pistol training is a talent.
Oh, it's a talent.
Yes.
Yeah. Because then the whole weapon and our stuff is a whole attribute.
It's actually part of a talent group.
Well, this says pistol weapon training universal.
Yep,
right, under talent groups it says universal.
Okay.
Which makes me think it's sort of like the old feat tree in D&D.
Is there a talent group?
I'm going through like the press gang. That says you get one skill as long as I have a prereq. Do I have to go through like the skill list where it's all explained and see if there's prereqs? Or where would I find
the prereqs are listed on the your character area. Or the class page.
No, hold on. Press ganged is any skill, right?
Oh, okay. That's
as long as it doesn't have a prereq. And I don't know if that meant if there's a place where I can look to find some of those prereqs, because I was trying to look for it and I just wasn't finding it.
Yes, so on the PDF page 75. No, hold on, that just tells if it's basic or not.
Joe, talent groups is explained on page 90.
No, I know that. On the sheet, I don't see a place for a talent group.
Just
a place to add talents.
I was getting the impression that it was a talent group, which indicated to me that you could take specialties in specific weapons or whatever.
Okay, so I don't automatically get a mutation or anything like that, or is that sort of like... I was curious about that.
Under 10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about that just yet.
Okay.
All
so
right.
sort of one of those, if I do this long enough, I'll probably get mutated. Okay.
Well, as the navigator, you're kind of like the sole person that gets exposed. I mean, the astropath is the one that makes all the phone calls, but when we're traveling through the warp, you're kind of the guy that we need to be like, okay, which way are we going, buddy? So you're the one that's exposing yourself to the warp the most while we're in transit, so...
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
I don't really see any prerequisites for skills.
That's what I was asking, because that's what I put in parentheses, so I meant I could just choose any of them. Does that put it as basic or trained if it's the advanced? Because it also doesn't say anything about that either.
It would give it to you single skill for your character. You may select an additional common lore or improve a common lore that you already have. Yeah, it doesn't say as basic, so you would click both basic and advanced if it's an advanced skill. If it's a basic skill, you can train it. As long as it has no prerequisites. I have a feeling that that would apply more to things like invocation requires a psyker score, right?
Okay.
Stuff like that.
Okay, so using this XP, it's got I guess the characteristics, and that'd be the cost. I'm assuming we're under simple at the moment, right? Or I don't know what simple, intermediate, trained, or expert means.
You go in order. So for weapon skill, you start with the simple. Then if you have more experience, you can then learn the intermediate.
Oh, okay.
Each step is a +5 bonus.
Is it +5?
Yes.
Okay, I see now. Okay, man. So most of my skills appears to be under intelligence.
So you're the navigator?
Yeah. Like all of the forbidden lore, the Navis Novelite thingy is all intelligence based, it looks like.
Yeah, so you can improve your intelligence for 100 points, which would give you a +5 to your intelligence. And if you wanted to spend 250 more, you can give it another +5.
Okay. And I'm going to guess willpower would also be important, or no? Like, it's hard to tell, like, what I would be, like, is there roles that I could deal with when I deal with, like, going through this thing? Or is it, like, on a failed roll, bad things happen kind of thing?
Let's see, navigator powers. Oh, I see what you mean about the starting mutation for navigators.
Yeah, that's why I was like, it doesn't say it directly, although it sort of mentions it in the fluff. So that's why it's like, okay. It's like talking about having a third eye and all this other stuff, and it's like, doesn't really talk about it anywhere else. I mean, unless the starting talent navigator automatically gives me something. Is that where it is? I haven't read it yet.
You would have the third eye. That would be a mutation.
The explorer possesses a navigator gene.
Okay, Owen, I'm going to need a lot of leadership.
What's the problem?
Well, I forgot to take the hit to my fellowship, so my fellowship is like 31.
Oh, mine is 50. We're good.
Yeah. Basically, don't let me do any of the talking. Basically, is what I'm getting from this.
I'm good at talking to people. I'm so good at talking to you that I can give you +10% chance to hit.
Okay.
Willpower is good for navigators.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. It says see Chapter 7 for navigator powers.
Yep.
So I get powers as well.
You start with the lidless stare power, and you may choose one more power. Or instead of choosing a second power, you may increase your mastery of one of your powers by 1 stage. And since you start with Lidless Stare, you can increase that by 1 stage if you want. Lidless Stare, for the novice, you make an opposed willpower test with anyone looking into your warp eye. Make a single test for the navigator and compare it to the results of each of your opponents. If you achieve more degrees of success, the opponent suffers 1d10 plus your willpower bonus in energy damage. This damage is not reduced by armor or toughness bonus. Anyone taking damage from this power is also stunned for 1 round as they are ripped with agony. Using the power is taxing and inflicts a level of fatigue on the navigator. If the navigator fails this test by 1 degree or more, he suffers 2 levels of fatigue. If you boost it by a step, it's the same except the damage is 2d10 plus your willpower bonus. And the time the victims are stunned for increases to a d5 rounds. And victims also suffer a d5 insanity points.
Fun. So I can drive people insane?
You can drive people insane. Yes, people looking into your warp eye is bad for them. Other powers is tracks in the stars. You can track the warp trail of a ship through real space in the same way as if you were using a tracking skill. There is Void Watcher.
Just looking at the master level of the Lidless Stare. As above, with the additional fact that any creature possessing an intelligence of 20 or more suffering damage from this power must make an immediate difficult toughness test or be slain.
Yeah.
Fun.
The third eye can kill people.
Just instant. Anyone with an intelligence of 20 or more. If you're less than 20, yeah, you're all right.
Well, you're too stupid to die, I guess.
You're too stupid to understand what you're even looking at that point.
Fascinating. I understand now. Dies instantly.
I don't get any starting psyker powers.
You don't? Check your talents. Maybe that's what
the 2 starting talents I get is pistol weapon.
Special abilities. That's what you want to look at. It's for some reason it's a section after all the classes.
Really?
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
that's right.
The navigators and psychers have their own little section.
Oh, all right.
Page 72. Navigator, Warp Eye. You begin with the Lidless Stare Navigator power as detailed in the Navigator powers. You may either select 1 additional or improve an existing. Okay. As you develop, you may select more powers or improve existing ones. The Boons of Lineage. A Navigator hails from a lineage of particular type that grants him a number of advantages and quirks. The lineages with which a Navigator may hail from are Nomadic Houses, Magisterial Houses, Shrouded Houses, or Renegade Houses. The effects are on 176. And Navigator Mutations. You begin play with a number of Navigator mutations determined by the nature of your lineage. That's where it is.
Okay, hold on. Somebody explain this one to me. Good bionic lungs count as a full life support system. Thus, if for any reason the user's own respiratory system fails, his bionic lungs will keep his blood oxygenated, and their presence may be unnoticeable if designed to be so. What?
Yeah, you don't have real lungs. You have like a scuba tank inside your body.
Yeah.
No. I have no problem with that part. It's the part where I can make it unnoticeable.
Yeah, you either have an obvious set of mechanical lungs or a hidden set of mechanical lungs.
Really, it's just a question of how much of whether there's a rib cage and skin over the mechanical lungs.
How mechanicus are you going?
Yeah,
no. I'm the shooter.
You can't alter it on the fly. It either is or it isn't.
Yeah. I'm just. Why would you make it obvious? Is my only question, because that just seems like an obvious thing to shoot.
Tech priests want everything to be very obvious.
Mm-hmm.
It is a status symbol.
Plus 10 to fellowship with tech priests for having the obvious mechanical lungs instead of hidden ones.
Yeah.
The flesh is weak.
That's what I had most fun with my Adeptus Mechanicus, was how much could I replace, and when I was given the answer of yes, I was sold.
Yeah, this game, I mean, you can have a limb blow off, and next game after some downtime, you now have a mechanical limb.
Yeah, it's I can go with limbs, or I can go with one of the cybernetic replacements, which I'll be perfectly honest, considering my personality, I'm thinking the Baleful Eye could be useful.
This is not like Cyberpunk where each new augmentation reduces your humanity.
No. It's. I'm reading the description. As might be imagined, it is very intimidating when used as part of negotiations with primitive societies. A character with this implant has a weapon equal to a hell pistol in his eye with a range of 10 meters. The baleful eye can be fired even if the character's hands are full. Baleful eye may be used as a pistol in melee. The baleful eye of Sebastian. As I said, it's just one of those things where okay. I'm not Jane. I'm more closer to Zoe from Firefly, or not. Yeah, Zoe from Firefly. Was it Zoe?
I don't know. None of them had bionic eyes.
Well, no. It's in situations of personality. I'm a good gunner, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm the guy who goes doing the talking.
I don't know. Zoe could talk.
Right.
Yeah, Zoe could talk, but on very specific matters where Mal was our rogue trader.
Mm-hmm. To be fair, he didn't always say the right things, whether or not he knew how to say them. But it's a personal problem.
I'm trying to look for like the psyker stuff. Do you have to pay to get into the discipline, or?
I think you get like 2 things for free, is what the special ability says.
You get the telepathic discipline. You get astral telepathy plus 2 more from astral telepathy section.
2 techniques from the telepathic discipline. Okay.
I didn't know if you had to buy into the more other disciplines or if you.
I think that would be based on like your character advancement thing.
I was just seeing like psychic technique times 2, but I didn't see anything that was about the disciplines.
Yeah, over time, let's see, Astropath, it's like in the later ranks. So like rank 3, psychic discipline is an option that you can buy for a new psychic discipline.
Okay, so you got telepathy until you get to rank 3, and then you can start to branch out, I guess.
Yeah. At rank 1, you can get, I think you start with a psi rating of 2, so that's not. There is a psychic technique. Times 2 means you can purchase it twice, I believe, at that rank. Yeah. The multiplier is how many times you can purchase it, if I'm reading that right.
But then also noticing each of these individual psychic techniques have an XP cost. Does he have to pay that, or does he get them for free?
Well, if it's the 2 Astropath ones, that I think he gives those for free. But if it's outside or anything like that,
it just seems odd that it's like there's an XP cost on the character.
Psychic technique talent. Each time, once this talent had been selected, you may select 1 new psychic technique in any discipline you possess with an XP cost equal to or lower than this talent's XP cost.
Oh,
so,
okay.
like at rank 1, you can get psychic technique for 100, so you can get any 100 XP or lower psychic technique.
Take psychic techniques for 100, Alex.
And then, like at rank 2, your psychic technique is 200, so that opens up the 100 and 200 XP point techniques.
Okay, so that's like a spell level. Right now you can get level 1 spells.
Yeah, pretty much. Basically.
So, Owen, what role do you want me to play as the guy who shoots things, other than shooting things?
Shoot things.
Well, no, I'm just looking at different implants, and some of them are like more utility than they are combat. Like Baleful Eye, I can shoot somebody with. But if like I took Augur Arrays, it allows me to perform full Auspex scans.
How good is your intelligence and perception?
Yeah, that's more important, like in the campaign, if this is what we play next.
Intelligence is 38, perception is 33.
Okay, are the only people who can get psychic talents the ones that knew they were going to get psychic talents?
There is a way later to get it. There is.
Go that went like right over your head. Went right over your head.
Okay, you're meaning in character wise.
Oh.
Okay.
No, I meant like it's the only way to get psychic talents. It's if you knew you were going to get psychic talents.
If you were psychic.
You knew that you were going to. Yeah.
Oh, no. Because people with no psionic ability at all can kind of be forced into the warp and suddenly get psychic talents.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but they might have known that they were going to be forced into the warp.
No, because then they would have already had the psychic talents. These people never saw it coming.
Yeah, I guess you're right there.
Because if they would have seen it coming, they wouldn't have gone to where it was coming.
Yeah, they would have had to known that they would have known they were going to get psychic talents. They would have been psychic, yeah.
Well, also, by the way, whoever's playing the Astropath, please note that sometimes you will get a psychic warning of such magnitude it could kill you. One of the things you hear about the Imperials always talking, and when they're on their not void ships, when they're on their ships navigating, one of the things, like one of the videos I watch, is like, okay, we lost like 4 Astropaths getting this message across. It's like, Jesus.
It's fun. It's got a random mutation roller.
So I'm seeing, it looks like there are in telepathic techniques that cost 100 XP. There are 3 options, and you get 2 of them.
In the table, the XP is 200.
Oh, it's 200. Oh, well,
but then, no, I get 2 free. I get 2 free ones. That's probably out of the 100 mark one. I can then buy.
I have no idea. It doesn't say.
I know. I get 2 of my choice, and then one thing I thought was cool is, and I can buy then get 1 more, whatever, for 200 XP, and then I guess get a level 2. I don't know. I haven't got that far yet.
I think all the things you start with are the things that are in the advances table. So I think it should be 200 of the 2 free ones you get. Pretty sure.
I was looking down at the talent choices, the right one, and then the other one. I was like, I don't know which one I like, but I'm not going to go with either.
All right. Well, it is 11 o'clock, so I'm going to go to bed.
Why do I keep getting the same one?
And you guys can.
Are you done?
I gotta go. I gotta get up in the morning. Yeah, I finished my character. I also went through and got gear, it's really weird. You get like exactly 1 item of gear. I got a ghost sword. I think the only thing left is the like rolling profit margins, which I'm giving us a -1.
They're the basics before you go. There is starting gear for the class, and then everybody can choose.
Gear for the class.
Yeah, and then everybody can choose one thing that isn't on that list, and that's basically your ship, your dynasty, your rogue trader kind of has production abilities for that thing. So if you take a las cannon, you can always have a las cannon. Even if that's destroyed, the next time you get to your ship, there's another one waiting for you. And that's the same with anything. So when you get new profit and select new things, you're kind of getting the ability to then produce those things to keep you stocked up on them. It's not just like, hey, I got a new gun. No, you have the production ability for that gun.
A lifetime supply.
Pretty much.
Do we as a group have to pick that one thing?
No, every person can choose one, and there is a roll-off based on the profit factor of the group. Everybody can choose one thing with like no modifier to the acquisition roll.
Yeah, which very important on that table is if you're getting something for a single person, then it is there's a +30 bonus for that. So if you want a particular piece of gear for an individual, then it can be pretty high quality.
Yeah.
Ooh, I have to choose one. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
so I have a magic alien sword because I have deep trauma with the aliens and knowledge of the aliens. So I will stab the aliens with the alien sword.
Other potential good things, at least for the combatants, are like really good armor.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I start with not great armor, but I start with armor at least.
What kind does an arch militant start with?
Enforcer light Carapace armor.
Carapace.
Carapace is pretty chunky.
Well, it's the Enforcer, it's not the military grade, so I haven't looked at the descriptors on.
Yeah, that's 5 instead of 6, which is 6 is like the heaviest you can get unless you're getting into power armor, and you could actually start with power armor if you've got a single suit of power armor is something you could get with your starting gear thing.
Oh wow! But actually, wait, it says all, so it would come with a helmet. So yeah, that's not bad. But yeah, it's the Carapace chestplate, and then trooper armor, and then advanced and power armor, light power armor, and yeah, I don't see us ever needing that. If we're going to a place where I'm required to be wearing power armor, something has gone terribly wrong.
Well, you never know when Gene Stealers are going to be on a Space Hulk that you're plundering.
It's less that it's required, but more it gives you options. Like walking right into the middle of an enemy squad, it isn't a good idea unless you have power armor. Then it's a fine idea.
Yeah.
At that point, I'll just be like, okay, why don't y'all play the Tech Priest, and I'll go be a Dreadnought.
It's not taking any options off the table.
Yeah, just like for example, pulling a pin on a grenade while you're grappling someone. Normally, that's a bad idea. While you have power armor, it's a great idea.
So generally, the way armor works is as long as it covers a location, you add your armor value to your toughness bonus, and you reduce damage by that much. Now, certain weapons have penetration values, so they can negate that much of your armor. Your wounds does not mean you are dead when you hit 0. It just means you start taking critical damage afterwards.
I looked at critical damage. No.
And that's why Sound Constitution is a fine talent to take when you can.
I got it because of my it was one of the talents I got for being Arch Militant.
You got one copy of it. You can take that one multiple times.
Oh yes, I can. But unfortunately, if I want this baleful eye not to blow my own head off when I try to fire it, I need to cough up the XP to make it good.
I missed my Adeptus. He had the baleful eye. He had the little, last pistol attached to like the tentacle. He had a plasma gun or whatever on his shoulder, and he wielded a big rifle.
All right, Alan. Good night.
Yep. Good night.
Yeah, good night. All right. So you said I automatically get the lidless stare, right? That's the one I automatically get.
Yes. Did you choose your house?
I did. Yes. I went with the magisterial houses since I was like noble born and stuff. I thought it fit the best.
All right, magisterial. What does that give you?
I get a warp focus, a pure genes, and exalted lineage.
Fancy.
And I get to choose my mutation instead of rolling randomly. So I chose Eyes of the Dark, or Eyes as Dark as the Void. I basically have black eyes with no pupils or anything. And I get some dark sight trait. I'm assuming it's some sort of see in the dark ability or something.
So the two psychers have the ability to see just about pretty much. They can't be blinded, or at least in that sense.
Yeah. The warp focus is kind of dirty because when I use my eye to stare down somebody, I can literally force them to re-roll a success. It's like, oh, you succeeded? No, try again.
That's cool.
This is cool. And the pure genes makes it slightly less likely that I get mutated every time I take a new power. Slightly less likely. So, and then the Exalted Lineage gives me a +10 bonus on any kind of test with Imperial Nobility, because I'm noble. I'm assuming that will stack with my noble stuff too, so it fits really nicely. So, I am very good with nobles. If you need to deal with the noble with any kind of Imperial Nobility, I'm your guy.
So you have like a high fellowship for that or something? Or what?
I have a decent, yeah. Well, actually, my fellowship is my highest score right now. And I haven't added any points to anything yet, so I'm gonna have to boost my willpower. Yeah, and pretty much when I looked at the powers, they're all either perception or willpower. Although the skills are from the class are all intelligence. So those are going to be like the three things I probably focus on the most.
Okay.
But my intelligence is already a 41, and my fellowship is at 46 at the moment.
Okay, nobody ever gets shot.
Okay.
I mean, I try not to. That's why dodge is incredibly important to me.
Jesus.
Where are those mutations at?
What?
Where were those mutations listed? Because I see a list, a random list, but I'm not.
Yeah, there's like the random list. That's where they're listed. I don't think they have like full descriptions otherwise.
I'm not seeing those eyes, but I might be looking.
Oh, yeah, it's I'll give you the number. Yeah, 46 to 55 on the list. You're on page 182, right?
No, I'm looking at a different mutation list.
Oh, there's on page 182. There's a like a clearer list.
I think I was looking at the corruption mutation list. Okay, these are much better.
Yeah. And then in eyes of the dark, eyes as dark as the void. To be fair, it's probably the least of the weird ones. So.
And dark side trait.
I don't know what that is, but.
Well, I'm just looking, like, my Baleful Eye, my Hell Pistol that's built into my eye, has a penetration of 7. That beats my armor by 1. I understand, I add my toughness to my armor, but that's still a -1 to my toughness, basically, so I'm looking at anything above 8, I'm kind of hosed, and everything's 1d10.
Yeah.
Well, why worry about it? The gun in your eye is inside your armor, so you can kill yourself easily.
No. I'm just using it as an example of everybody else who could possibly get shot. I might survive it. Y'all guys might get killed by it.
That's okay. It's all good. All right. So let's see what I want to do with boosting stats.
I don't know
now
what
that
the
I know.
class of a weapon is, though.
Oh wait, you said I can either make this better or pick another ability, right? Because I get 2. You said, right? Right. So basically, I can push this up from novice to adept if I wanted to, or pick another one. Okay.
Yeah, some of the stuff I don't know how to enter. Like I don't know what the class of a weapon is, and I don't know how to enter the damage. It's all like really
those are I think the class are modifiers to the weapon.
No. Class is the type of well, not the type. Class is pistol, basic, heavy.
Oh, I was thinking of the craftsmanship part. Never mind.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah, if you just find the table where it's at, it's all there. Type is like, is it a las gun? Is it a solid projectile? Is it a bolt weapon? Is it a melta weapon?
I assume type is like the E for energy, right? Okay.
Oh, that might be what it is.
Sorry, my
you
wife
are
was talking
absolutely
to
right.
me.
Okay. So.
Type also
And
determines critical damage effects.
So for like armor, like if my armor is like 3, but it covers only arms, body, and legs, I put a 3 in the AP for all those 5 sections?
Yes.
Okay.
And primitive armor is bad. Primitive armor applies half of its value to any weapons that aren't primitive.
I don't know if Xenomesh is primitive or not. It didn't say.
No, primitive is like hide and chainmail and stuff like that.
Okay. And then
Xenomesh is pretty good.
It's a 3-2, but I mean I don't know where to put the 2. Figure that out a little bit.
2 is weight. I don't know if there's a spot for weight.
Trying to figure out where to use best craftsmanship. And then I guess I have to figure out how to move.
You walk. What do you mean how to move?
How to calculate it? Like, is there a modifier? I don't know.
Moving is basically a agility bonus. It's like as a free action, you can move equal to a number of meters equal to your agility.
So 2 meters, 3 meters.
Hold on.
Best craftsmanship. Where the hell is that? So there's nothing in the index on craftsmanship. So I'll look up best, I guess. I don't know.
Hold on.
I thought that best was you get a bonus with it. I think you get probably a +10 with using it. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know if the Dark Heresy stuff transfers or not.
All right, so craftsmanship is in the gear section.
I looked, but I couldn't find it first couple times, so I'm looking again. Ah, there it is. 112. Okay. It takes me 3 times the time to use it, I guess. I assume that's to make it, I guess.
Is it a weapon you're looking at, or?
Yeah.
So weapons craftsmanship, if it is poor, let's see, melee weapons of poor craftsmanship have a -10 penalty to attack and parry. Good melee has a +5 bonus to attack. Best, it's a +10 bonus to attack. As far as jamming and stuff, like best quality typically doesn't jam. Let's see, ranged weapon of poor craftsmanship has the unreliable quality. If it already had this quality, then it will jam on any failed roll to hit.
Where are you finding this? What page?
115. There's a sidebar.
Okay. That's why it is, because I can't fucking read those things. They're white on gray text. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
I
they
can't
are.
fucking
Yeah,
read.
yeah, they're bad.
They're really hard to read.
That's weird. Mine is really gray.
It's like
Right.
white on light, slightly off white. In order to find out what my skills starting to, I actually had to copy the text.
You had to copy and paste it.
Yeah, into a text editor, just to be able to read it.
There, I'll post it in the channel. I mean, in
I'll copy and paste myself.
Roll20, it's not the best formatting. But if it's a ranged weapon of good quality, it has reliable. And if it already had reliable, there's no effect. If it is a ranged weapon quality of best craftsmanship, it never suffers from jamming or overheating. If a roll would either result in either of these occurrences, simply count it as a miss.
These powers are pretty good.
Yeah, I went with some fun ones.
Holy crap.
Mind Link, Mind Probe, and Mind's Eye. Mind's Eye just boosts the distances. I can do my talkie stuff by 10 times. But I figured Mind Link so everybody can, have the radio in their head.
Nice.
Oh, okay. So I got like no benefit except for no jamming or reading. Okay.
The overheating part's important. When I had the plasma pistol, you got to be careful when shooting it. And since I had it mounted on my shoulder, when I critically failed on the roll, it kind of exploded. That was fun.
Okay. Okay. So special qualities, I'll just say pesky, friendly. Okay. Mesh armor 333. Can't see where to put the weight. I think that's the only thing I can't put in there. And then you said for move, a normal move is.
Oh yes, let me find that.
So my agility modifier is a 3. So I can move 3 meters. Or maybe that's a half move. I don't know. Not full. Oh, whatever.
All right, you can spend a half action to move a number of meters equal to your agility bonus. As a full action, you may move twice that distance. If the active character ends his movement adjacent to an opponent, he may engage that opponent in melee. If the active character moves away from an opponent with whom he is engaged, that opponent may make a free standard attack.
Yeah, I can't modify any of these things, so I'm assuming that like it's just gonna tell me sometime that I can move 3. I guess. I don't know. Okay.
I don't know. My character has its move already filled out.
Okay.
In the combat tab?
Yeah, I'm looking at the combat tab.
Under
Joe, that might be because you already have your bonuses filled out.
Yeah, I put my agility bonus in the gray thing.
Oh, right. It doesn't automatically do that, right?
So under the attribute is a small gray in the lower right corner. You have to manually put the tens digit there.
Yeah, so if you have 37, it's a 3. If you got 44.
So, like, for example, this is where I would double my toughness bonus. So, okay, I got it. Yep, base sleep 3. Yep, okay.
And then custom movement is if there's anything there.
No, it didn't fill it out the rest. Okay. Maybe the 0 I neglected to delete.
So I am the walking communications. That's fun. Or
No, you're the walking long range communication.
Oh, and short range. Well, if short range is like 100 meters, but and like 20 or like 10 kilometers or 100 kilometers or something like that for the long range.
Movement filled out.
And if you need me
so,
to, peek through someone's brain, that's also a thing I can do.
I'll just type in gearless.
Oh, and I get a sight focus.
Okay. I think it's mostly filled out. So is that what we're doing today?
Yeah, let me look up the acquisition thing real quick and.
All right, I have a choice of 2 that I'm thinking about. One is called Cloud in the Warp, that basically makes me cloak. It's like an invisibility power of sorts. That anybody that I cloak myself from any kind of psychic sight detection or divination stuff.
So immediately lets anybody know that you're a mutant.
Do what?
It immediately lets everybody know you're a mutant.
Well, I mean, they can't see me, so they can't know if I'm a mutant or not, can they?
Well, that may not be true with the navigator over there. He might still be able to see you.
So, no, even like psychic sight. Mm-hmm. Everyone have to make a test. It's like a perception test, a challenging one, though. I'm not sure what these mean, but yeah. So basically, I become super, super hard to see.
Okay.
The other one is called the Course Untraveled, which basically is a teleport. It's like a short range teleport. This is what I would do. But the negatives for failing this roll is kind of rough.
I need somebody to roll a d10 for the starting profit factor and ship points for the group.
Not me.
Definitely not it.
1d10?
1d10. All right, a 6. Profit factor is 40. Ship points are 50. The Rogue Trader Dynasty is a fresh, new player on the galactic stage, garnering attention both fair and foul. And then what were the modifiers?
I had a -1 to profit.
I thought we had a noble that was a +1.
Yeah,
I think somebody else got a -1 too.
There's 2 -1s.
There's 2 -1s and 2 +1s. I think we just.
Oh, it became a wash. Okay.
Yeah, it's a wash.
Were there 2 +1s?
I have a +1. Anybody else?
No, I think it was just you.
Oh, it's just me. So minus.
Yeah, I think it was just you.
So just a -1 then.
Let me see here.
Well, you have them all marked, so you can run through.
You're holding me back, ruining my chance to get rich.
Same here. Well, you're going for prestige. I'm going for fortune.
And but wealth is a path to prestige.
Where is profit factor? Ships? Nope.
You looking for it in the rulebook?
No, I'm looking for it on the character sheet.
Oh. Okay, so if we're just going to create characters, I think I'll lay down then. Get some rest.
So the way it works is, since we know the profit factor is a 39, everybody can get 1 acquisition from a single item with a modifier of +0. $272. What is 272?
I'm amused by this. I start with a medikit, and I start off with some Enforcer-like Carpus armor and manacles. So I might be a criminal who killed his keeper or his capturer and stole his armor and ran off with his manacles still.
Let's see. If the bonuses to the acquisition ever increases the profit factor to 100 or more, the test is automatic. If the penalties reduce it to 0, the test automatically fails. Yeah, so it'd be like rarity. So if you wanted, say,
So that's it for now?
yeah, I'm looking at the acquisition, so we can do that later.
Okay.
Let's see, Carapace, chestplate, Enforcer Light Carapace is all locations, and that's rare. Rare is a -10.
Right, but if I start with it as standard equipment, I don't need to worry about that, right?
No. I'm trying to make heads or tails of this chart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'll do a cloud in the warp. Going invisible sounds good. Plus, the negatives of failing are much worse, or much better. I'm a little bit nicer than the other one.
So let's see. Plentiful rarity is +30. You can then get something that is best quality, which is a -30, which brings it to 0. Scale, single man is another +30. So yeah, you could get like a scarce item that is single man +30 and best quality -30 and just pick that up. The Stormtrooper Carapace is very rare, so that's a -20. You can then get, it's still negligible single man, so you could start with it at good quality.
I guess we must be getting tired because my brain did not understand any of that.
The 272 has the acquisition modifiers.
Mm-hmm.
There is availability. There is the scale of the item. So negligible is like a single man. If you're equipping a squad, it lowers it. And then there's the craftsmanship modifier. And as long as you add those up and it comes down to +0 or more, you can have that item.
And what's the number we're searching for?
0 is 0 or more. So you can't end up with an item that is in the negatives.
Okay, say if we wanted a rare item, it would we would then have it be like a poor craftsmanship.
It's still one man. It's +30. So one rare item is still okay.
Okay, Joe, I know we live in a world in constant war and strife and blah blah blah, but am I gonna run? I'm trying to figure out. Would I run into problems running around with a hell gun or a long las, or is subtlety more of a thing for rogue traders like bolter pistols?
Okay, so on your ship, you probably are always going to be armed because you never know when something is going to board you. Right? You may orcs pop out of warp and attack you, and
I'm just wanting to make sure if we land on a planet, I'm not going to get my head blown off for walking out with a hell gun.
it depends on the planet.
Okay, but we'll be aware of that before I get off the ship, right? Okay.
You know, it's like anywhere else. You don't want to be carrying a sniper rifle into a formal ball. Uncivilized planets, it doesn't really matter. Civilized planets may have their own rules on what they expect.
Well, also, it was also a question of like ranges and stuff of that nature. Like, okay, we get boarded and I have a hell gun and this thing has a penetration of 7. I don't think I have to worry about bulkhead, but at the same time, I may have to worry about a bulkhead.
Probably not.
Okay. Because, like, with the Baleful Eye, I already have a very short-ranged weapon, and I was like, okay, I could go with bolter pistols, which give me a range of 30 meters, or I could go with something really long, like a Hellgun or a Long Las, which are two of my basic weapons that I can choose from, and it was like, Hellgun, a lot of penetration. But also a shorter range than the Long Las. And it's better penetration, better damage. But as I said, it's one of those things where it's like I show up with that. Is somebody about to ask me a really uncomfortable question?
Yeah, all that depends on where you're showing up with it.
All right, let's see. All right, I need willpower and perception and intelligence. Yay! Luckily, they're all inexpensive. That's very nice of them to give me the inexpensive ones as the ones I need.
Yeah, Joe, that's a question I have. If something doesn't have a state that, if it's not good or whatever, if you just buy, does that mean, like the Baleful Eye, some of the cybernetics have specifications. This is what happens if you have 4. This is what happens if it's good. This is what happens if it's best. If it doesn't have that listed in the description, do I need to worry about it?
Probably not.
Okay, because the Baleful Eye doesn't have anything listed. I thought it did, but it doesn't. I'm just trying to figure out if I need to spend XP on it or not.
Let me look up.
Okay, so each of these lines have 3. Okay.
Okay. So, yes, due to superstition and uneven level of technology, sophistication, as does the reaction to those who display augmentation is different. Each different kind grants a user different benefits and sometimes penalties depending on its craftsmanship. The exception to this is best craftsmanship cybernetics that provide no additional benefits beyond those of good craftsmanship, but are far more impressive in their construction and design. The availability listed below represents common cybernetics.
Yeah, there's not a single common cybernetic except for the arms and legs and maybe the respiratory system. Everything is either rare, scarce, or not available.
Yeah,
or near unique.
It's not talking about rarity. So Baleful Eye is near unique. So Bionics and Craftsmanship should have an impact on role-playing as well as the in-game mechanics. For example, a poor craftsmanship Bionics may be crude, obvious augments that creak, grind, squeal, or constantly leak fluids. On the other hand, a good craftsmanship Bionics may be so unobtrusive that they are mostly invisible to the naked eye. Best craftsmanship should be gold and brass inlaid works of art to reflect an advanced and refined design. So the option was...
It starts out poor. If I spend 200, it becomes average. And if I spend 300, it's good.
And that was for the criminal?
Criminal.
Yeah, so if you have a baleful eye, it's a very a poor craftsmanship. It's a very obvious baleful eye that might constantly leak, say, a type of red lubricant that maybe looks like a bloody tear, right? It's obvious, and anybody that would appreciate the appearance of cybernetics would have a problem with that. Role-playing bonus, you tech priests would probably want to upgrade you, you know, stuff like that. As far as the weapon goes, it would feature what kind of gun does it count as?
Hell pistol.
Let's see, Hell pistol. Hell pistol is las. It is not accurate or reliable. So as a poor ranged weapon, it would have the unreliable quality. So if it and unreliable gives it, it jams on a weapon roll of 91 or higher.
Right, but as I said, it was just one of those things I was trying to figure out.
Yeah, so if you have it to spare, making a better quality would be better.
Yeah, no, I as I said, I was not disputing that whatsoever. It was, as I said, it was just one of those things where I was like, I don't see a quality with this.
Yeah, they all have qualities. It's just you have to infer what it applies to based on the general sidebars there. A best craftsmanship arm is going to look like a best craftsmanship arm, whereas a poor craftsmanship arm might sound like a hamster wheel all the time.
Fun. Okay, I think I got this now. So with the lidless stare, it's like a versus roll, technically, right?
Yes, so you make an opposed willpower roll.
Okay. It doesn't give me an option to like do an opposed roll. It just sort of.
Yeah, you would make your roll.
Yeah. So like this last one, I pulled a 27, it looks like.
Okay.
Even though it says 1.4 degrees of a success, that doesn't actually matter in this case, right?
So I would do that, and I got 1.7 degrees of success, so I won that roll.
Oh, unless I force you to re-roll it, because I could do that. Ha ha!
Yep.
Okay. All right. Now that makes more sense. Now, when I'm using the cloud in the warp, which is my sort of invisibility cloaking ability or whatever, then that is just a success or wait, no, it is a success or fail for me, but then they have to make a perception check to see me if I succeed. That's what that one was.
Okay.
Yeah, it says a challenging perception check. I'm not sure what the differences are.
Challenging is
because it says +0, but I don't know. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, challenging is +0, so it's challenging perception.
Yeah, so like.
So I would roll perception against a 32 because this is what that character's that I have as a perception is 32. And I rolled a 91, so I failed.
So okay, I got you.
So if it's routine, I would add +20 to my target number and then roll. And then, when you roll, there is a modifier pop up. So if like you're making a shot that is an easy shot, that's +30, or doing this roll, type in 30 to the modifier, submit it, and now I rolled a 38, but my target number was 32 as my attribute +30 for my difficulty. So I succeeded. Because I rolled under the total of 62 that time.
Right. It's adding, when you add your modifier, it's adding to the ability and not the roll. I gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I understand.
Yeah, the modifiers aren't affecting your roll. They're affecting what you're trying to roll under.
Right. And then, yeah. And I can roll the damage from here if the lidless stare works. Okay. That makes sense.
And like, with the fate point, if you were doing a... let's see, I have a skill here. I have some of these chosen. We'll go charm. Train to charm. And I've spent a fate point for a +10 modifier before I roll. I can add that to my modifier.
Okay.
And I rolled, what was that, a 4? That's a damn good roll.
Yeah. All right. And with the degrees of success, it looks like if it's like you fail by 3 or more, it's bad, is from what I can tell.
What, the cloudless stare or whatever?
With the degrees of like, yeah, because it's like you get like exhaustion or no, wait, not with this one. I think it is at the listless stare. Let's see. If the navigator fails this test by 1 degree of failure or more, he suffers 2 levels of fatigue. Okay, well that's different. That's me failing. If there was another, wasn't one of the abilities I took. There was another one that's like, if you fail by 3 or more, it was the teleport one, which I thought was weird. You fail by 3 or more degrees of success, and you get blinked out of existence for like 5 turns.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, some of these are a little rough.
Generally, the decimal point you're not going to pay attention to. You're only going by the whole number. So in our cases above, you got a 1.4 and I got a 1.7. We both got 1 degree of success, so it was kind of a tie in that case.
Right. So basically the points only matter in the tiebreaker sort of thing.
The points are there because the system has to divide a whole number by 10. So it's just leaving in the decimal spots. They don't really matter. It's just part of the math of the sheet.
I mean, but if it's a tie, it doesn't say what happens if it's a tie. No, I guess it's a. Is it the defender wins on a tie?
Let me see.
Like, is that the number they're trying to hit?
Let me see if there's a general ruling here.
Okay, and just out of point here, I imagine I can use this XP to do any of the rank 1 navigator advances, right? Because it says the rank 1 navigator advances. I'm assuming I can put these points into any of those.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know what, my item, whatever that I want.
We can do that later.
Yeah.
Since nobody rolled at all, we can decide. Because the profit factor is, let me find that sheet again. Right, so it ranges, there's between 90 points between profit factor and ship points. The higher your starting profit factor, the lower your starting ship points. And you guys build a ship. There is a starting generic ship. There might be a book with other sample ships that are basically already within a certain construction point. Let me see what the basic is here. I think it's a 50-point ship. All right, the example rogue trading vessel Saber is a ship point cost of 50. And that's what your guys rolled. So 40 profit factor, 50 ship points. So you can use that basic sample ship. Which is not bad. In combat, there are in space combat turns. Every turn is basically a half hour. It is very slow, unwieldy combat. So you maneuver. Everybody on the ship can do stuff like launch a boarding action if you're close enough, or fire the batteries, or whatever. There's a bit on here, so nobody is really left out of ship combat. And it's either your role if you have it, like if you have a gunnery skill, you roll that. Otherwise, you have a crew skill based on the ship. So in this sample ship has a crew. Where is it? Crew of 25,500 people. What is the number though? All right, all ships start with a competent crew.
Obviously they haven't met us yet.
And competent gives them skill rating of 30. So anything the crew does on its own, they have to roll 30 or less, basically. So if you have a better skill when you are doing different actions, you roll yours, or you just assume the crew rolls a 30. But there are extended actions are only available to characters who have not taken part in maneuver or shooting this turn. And the extended actions are Stuff like active augury. You can try to scan the ship. You can aid the machine spirit to get a bonus to, for every 2 degrees of success, you add an additional +5 to the same system. Oh, maneuverability or detection for the remainder of the turn. Disinformation. You can try to increase the morale by a D5 by spreading disinformation. Oh, that's funny. Emergency repairs if stuff goes down. Get to flanking speed so that you can turn more often and stuff. Hail the enemy. So even if, somebody maneuvers the ship, somebody shoots the weapons, and then other people can do these other actions. If they fit within, like a boarding action, you have to be within 5 spaces of an enemy. You can launch a boarding action, and then there's an opposed roll, and you can do damage to systems of the ship or make off with profit factor because you stole a bunch of stuff or whatever. So the basic is 40 profit factor and 50 ship points. We can do the acquisition roll later for that.
Yeah, because I think besides filling in all like the detailed information, your only thing I got left, I think, is the one personal item, and then doing all like the tiny information,
Yeah,
stuff.
there's random rolls if you don't want for some of that, and then there's also the questionnaire that starts on page 30, basically 31, has roles you can do for names if you want names, and then ask you a few questions about your demeanor and why are you a leader on board this vessel and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Role play options.
So Matt, my question is if this actually becomes our game of choice next time around, are you actually going to go down the tech boy line, the explorator, because of your love of all things Mechanicus?
Oh, I didn't really go down that route. But if we probably actually did, I don't know. I'd see how we did like a one shot if I like playing as the telepath or not.
Yes. So next time we have a chance, an off week, or if not, everybody is here for Earth Dawn or something, we can finish up the ship. I'll probably just give you guys that sample ship. Choose your starting character in that, or starting equipment piece, and then do maybe a quick as possible, a ship combat example and a ground encounter to see how things work.
Because as telepath, like it's the before they get anything other than I can talk with my brain until it's like the advanced level 3, and then you can do other stuff. Otherwise, for the first couple levels, I do things with my brain, like I talk to you or I invade your brain.
As a one shot, I should probably give everybody more XP to spend.
Yeah, so I think I understand the leveling up thing. So on that first sort of basic page, it's assumed that you spent 4,500 on doing all of your pre-gen or all your starting stuff. So you can't select those again, even though it says that. It's a very strange way of doing things. Yeah, okay. I was okay.
The 45,
well, it's basically just explaining the map.
No, the 4,500 that is assumed to already be spent is a power level game, because Dark Heresy characters start off a little weaker than Rogue Trader characters.
Mm-hmm.
So the equivalent of a Dark Heresy character in Rogue Trader is they've earned 4,500 experience points to this point, which puts them on equal ground of a Rogue Trader character. So they're kind of like, this is an arbitrary number that has been spent getting you to the starting level.
Because I think Dark Heresy, I think it's like 2,000 is your starting thing. I think it's
probably like
They-
2,500.
No, they start at 0 and they get 400 to spend at start.
right. Oh, right.
Ouch.
Yeah, I just remember like it took a few gains of XP before we actually were doing more than skulking in the shadows.
Yeah. And then if you play Deathwatch, they are considered to have already spent 13,000, and you get 1,000 to spend starting off. But they, in Deathwatch, their attributes start off instead of 2d10 plus 25, I think they're 2d10 plus 30, or a bit more. So just that the attribute level of 5 higher is as if they had already spent the simple advance on all their attributes.
Yeah, that would put them at rank 4 of us.
Yeah.
That's where 13,000 lands. But you go off the math. That's 8,000 XP.
So with this, you start off basically at rank 1 at 5,000 if you spent your starting 500. And you have to earn and spend 2,000 more before you can jump into the rank 2 advances.
Yep. But unlike, I was going to ask, is unlike in Earth Dawn, where it's like, okay, you can only have these skills, you can only do this stuff, you can only do this and this. You can do other things, yes. But if you want to keep advancing, you have to go in this order, is basically what I was saying. But in this case, you, as a character, you can go back to your rank 1 if you didn't get everything you wanted out of rank 1 and just spend the XP.
Oh yeah,
Right.
You can always spend in an earlier path.
Yeah, because some of them they repeat themselves.
Well, yeah, it's repeating, but it's like Medicae, Blood Tracker, Guardian. These are Medicae is a skill, Blood Tracker and Guardian are talents. They cost 500 each. So I may be spending it to go up to that next rank of to get to rank 2. But my point being is some of these you may never spend any points on.
Yeah, and you can always come back later. Like for instance, let's say I'm looking at rank 3 navigators, right? There is an Intimidate at plus 20. I can't buy that unless I got the Intimidate at plus 10, which was at rank 2. So even though I'm rank 3, I can still buy the rank 2 one if I have Intimidate generally, which is rank 1. So you can still go back and purchase everything in order because you can't buy something that has the prerequisite unless you have it.
Well, yeah, like one of the things actually, the funny thing is I can only take. I got what was it, Solid Constitution this time. I can actually only take that once at this rank. At rank 2, I can take it. It says times 3, so I take that. It means I can take it 2 more times.
As an arch militant?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you started as a starting talent, but it is not on rank 1 talent.
Correct.
But
That's
yes,
what I'm saying.
at rank 2, Sound Constitution has a times 3, so you could buy that up to 3 times at that rank.
So I could buy it. So I could go all the way up to 4.
Yes, and Sound Constitution, let's see, at some point, does it get more expensive? No, I guess not. There are some that would be like at rank 1, you can take something 3 times and it's 100 per. And then at rank 4, you can take it 3 more times, but it's 200 per. You can still go back and buy all of those times 3 from rank 1 at the cheaper rate.
Yeah, like at rank 5, I don't get it, but at rank 4, 6,
Yeah, but
and 7, I get access to it again.
Sound Constitution is 200 each time, so you can add up the total multiplier and buy it up to that many times.
Yes, but that would be a lot, and I'm sorry if I need that many wounds. I will admit, by the time we get to like rank 8 or whatever, I will probably need that many wounds because, whatever the hell's chasing us is probably firing melt-a-guns at us.
Let's see.
Yeah, you said there was a way to boost up your health. I missed that part.
Yeah, Sound Constitution is a talent. When it is available as a talent advance in your career path, you can buy it, and it just adds +1 to your wound each time you take it.
Okay, so wounds actually stay very relatively low for the most part.
For some characters. I think everybody has access to it eventually.
Right, but I'm saying even with that, it's not like it's boosting you're not adding a whole ton here, So.
Correct. So for instance, have you picked your armor yet?
No, I haven't gotten to that point yet.
So for sake of ease, let's say you have an armor that has 3 armor value, right? And somebody shoots you with a melee weapons. Let's go to ranged. Let's say somebody shoots you.
You get best craftsmanship Xeno mesh armor.
Somebody shoots you with an auto pistol, which does a D10 + 2. They roll a 4, get +2, so 6 damage. What is your AP? 3. So it's down to 3 damage. What is your toughness bonus?
3 for me.
3. So you take no damage from that hit. So, the damages aren't super high. Now, if somebody rolls a 10 on damage, I believe it is still there, like a furious success or whatever, you make another attack roll. And if the attack roll that you roll hits, you get to roll an extra D10 or an extra damage die, right? It's their way of a crit, but you actually have to confirm it by hitting again with the attack roll. So damage can exceed that. And then how many wounds do you have, like 8 or 9?
8.
8. So, say they hit you, they rolled really good and got 10. Your toughness bonus in your armor is 6. They do 4 damage to you on that shot. The next shot, they manage to get through 2 more wounds. You're down to 4. And then the next time they do 6, you have 4 wounds left, so now you're into 2 critical damage. And the critical damage depends on the weaponry and stuff. Let's see here.
Okay, but so that means my Lilith Stare is really powerful, isn't it? Holy cow. Because it actually, yes. It can't be reduced by armor or toughness. Like, if I hit with this thing, it's gonna hurt. It could kill people literally on one shot, depending on what their wound is.
Your psychic powers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
that is one of the reasons why the Imperium is so against psychers, is because it's like, I can take away your gun. I can take away your sword. The only way to take away your powers is take out your brain.
Yep. So let's say that auto gun was impact damage, and it hits you in the body. It did 2 critical damage, so looking up damage critical at 2, the impact punches the air from your target's body, inflicting 1 level of fatigue. But you're at 2 critical damage, so if the next time 3 more damage gets through, now you're at 5, and on that shot, the 5 line is a solid blow, wins the target, you momentarily double over in pain, you take a D5 levels of fatigued, and you're stunned for 2 rounds. So critical damage compounds. It's not always lethal. Headshots can be lethal, other shots can be, but you may lose an arm. Arms in this game are fairly easy to replace, right? So they're not character ending. Some of the critical wounds, it's just you show up on the next turn and half of your face may be a bionic face, and you may have 2 bionic arms or legs, and so critical damage may get you out of the fight and do stuff like that, but they're not always character-ending events.
Yeah, I'll put it to you this way: when I was playing, when I played the one game of Dark Heresy I lost a leg in like the first round of combat. Like I think it was squigs or something. Something bit me, and it did a critical wound on me, and basically just took my leg clean off.
Fun.
And I think astropaths eventually might be able to get access to healing. I know Psykers and Dark Heresy can get it fairly early on. The main reason that the Imperium is against Psykers isn't because they may do damage to you. It's because every time a Psyker uses their powers, they are basically opening themselves up to a warp, up to the warp, and demons may take advantage of that.
Yeah, there's that too. Or whatever else is crawling around in the void.
One of the luckiest uses of a psychic ability was we were stuck. We couldn't figure out what to do with my turn, so I decided to push a random psychic power to have a parallel warp happen, because I figured something on that table is going to be better than what was happening in the room. So when I rolled on that table, everybody in the room, that when they failed, I think, a toughness check, were then going to be stunned for a round. Everybody was stunned in the round but one character. So her turn was running up behind the big bad and putting her gun to his head so we could leave safely. So parallel warp can be helpful if you think you're lucky.
If you think you're lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I gotta look at using them because they changed how Psyker powers are used between Dark Heresy and here.
Yeah, Dark Heresy had a lot of offensive abilities. I think the trees I went into was the fire tree, and then I think telekinetic one.
Well, they didn't have to worry about somebody driving them somewhere and talking to somebody far away.
I ended up just turning into like the group's mobile tank, because I guess one of the powers, you can make a bubble around your group for more armor, or you can have one that's more personal to yourself.
Let's see.
Just so you know, I did find the traits thing, and the dark sight thing is just basically you get to see in the dark.
Where did you find that?
It's really late. It's like right before the DM section of the book, like 300 and something.
Yeah, and I think there's actually
I literally had to do a search.
They talk about it in the equipment section for cybernetics, and I think there's a set of goggles you can give. That was like, this gives you dark sight. It was like, what's that?
Yeah,
you can see in the dark. Oh, okay.
All right, page 364. Okay, here it is.
Yeah, and it's got all the traits there as well, so you can kind of get a better feel for some of the stuff. But yeah, basically, I can see in the dark. My eyes let me see in the dark.
That's cool.
I don't have eyes, so I get a lovely little psyker sight.
Astropath sight is cool. They can never really be blinded unless something affects the warp around them.
And I can see in color, and I think that you can see through walls with like a roll or whatever too. Astropaths are fun. It took them a while, but they eventually added them to Dark Heresy.
Fun. So wait, does that mean my ability wouldn't work on him because he doesn't have eyes?
Is yours a psychic power?
Yeah, can he look into my
No, you already said it would block his psychic sight.
Yeah, I'd have to make a roll just like everybody else.
Oh, okay. No. Well, my invisibility would, but I don't know about the eye. Like, can he look into my eye?
Psychically, yeah.
Oh, I guess psychically, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've looked into probably the warp and saw something scarier.
True.
All right, let's see. Using techniques. When you use a psychic technique, you have a choice of using it fettered at half strength or unfettered at full strength. or you may try to push it for greater effect. Let's see, fettered, make your focus power test at half psi rating, no chance of a psychic phenomenon. Unfettered, if you roll doubles during your focus power test, roll on the psychic phenomenon table. Push, psi ratings +1 to +3 / +4. Make a check against the psychic phenomenon table at +5 per +1 rating desired, up to a maximum of 3 / +15. I don't know where that second number is. I'll have to read the actual descriptions. So focus power test is either a characteristic test with willpower or a skill test, usually Psyniscience. Alright, so what is the Astropath Psyniscience? Is it base? Is it plus anything?
1 second. Trained. I mean, it's a skill.
Trained, and it's based on willpower?
Yep.
So what are you rolling under then?
38. Or not willpower, it's perception.
Oh, perception.
30. Yeah.
Oh, I see what the +3 +4. Astropaths and other sanctioned psychers may add up to +3 to their psi rating when determining the final pushed strength of a power. Other psychers have a connection to wild surges and may go even higher.
That's the advantage between sanctioned and non-sanctioned. Usually sanctioned, you start off with slightly higher like base power, and Perils of the Warp won't be quite as bad, but depends if you like rolling on that table or not.
Yeah, and I guess you're just sticking with the core rulebook for Rogue Trader, right, Joe?
For the start.
No, I was just asking because I know that the video game, they're talking about adding Rogue Trader's going to have alien races in it.
Right.
Oh, yeah, the one Rogue Trader game I remember listening to forever ago had an Orc and a Dark Eldar as part of the crew for the player.
And that's still going to be true.
All right, let me end the stream here. Thanks for hanging out with the character creation. We're not sure when exactly we will do our first scenario to test the systems out, but stay tuned. I will post it in Twitter when it happens. Thanks for hanging out.